might be one of our best ones.
I agree.
Honestly, it's got to be up there. It's got to be at least top 3.
I think so.
Let's get down to business to defeat my buns.
Whoa.
Remix.
Whoa.
Remix.
Dang, bro. My little sister has been learning how to DJ.
Ooh.
She has an app right now that lets her do it on her iPad.
Okay.
But we got her like a controller board that can plug into I think she's gonna do it to the iPad as well.
Okay.
But
Nice.
yeah, she was getting down, bro. She only had the sample stuff that was available for free on the app when she was showing me what she could do. But even that was cool. It sounded pretty dope. I was like, oh dang, all right, kid, get down, bro.
Yeah, she's got to invest in Serato DJ, bro.
That's a program, right? That's
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Serato's really good. They have their Serato sample, which you can use to sample stuff. They have the Serato DJ, so you can DJ, and they got a whole other bunch of lineup of things.
It's a whole everything you could possibly need for your DJ needs. Oh, thank you, sir. A Kona Big Wave, huh?
New beer.
Liquid Aloha.
New beer for the podcast. Kona
like it.
Big Wave. This shit's really fire. I've been drinking
You've
this.
drank these before?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Do you need a bottle opener?
Yeah.
I think I have one on my keys too.
I have a lighter.
Oh yeah, you have your trick.
It's my party
The
trick,
party
bro.
trick.
Yeah. Comes in handy, dude.
I don't think I really have a party trick. Not much I can do.
I mean, that one's not a great party trick. It's
it's
been
cool.
around for a while though.
But the thing is,
it's convenient.
It not only is it convenient, it's useful. Sometimes party tricks are dumb.
That's
they're
true.
just showing off for the sake of showing off. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
That's actually something you could use, you know?
There was
That's good.
Yeah, you like it?
I do. This is tasty.
I actually first drank this in Hawaii. Got introduced to this in Hawaii. And I hadn't
What a
drink it in a long time. And then when I went to Big Bear, one of the bars that we went to had it. And I was like, oh. But it wasn't available. And I was like, dang.
You sons of bitches.
Yeah. But then I think we went to another bar and they had it. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, damn, this tastes fucking good. This does taste like liquid Aloha.
I can only imagine. I've never been to Hawaii before. I would love to go.
It was hella funny. I was at the store one time and you know how I get those Hawaii volcanic waters?
Oh yeah.
And the girl that was ringing me up, she was like, "Oh, is that good water? I always see you getting that one." I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. I can be kind of a stickler about my water and which ones I like,
Yeah.
And she was like, "Does it taste like Hawaii?" And I was just like,
Yes.
I was like, if Hawaii had to taste like anything, it'd probably be that right
That
there,
water
and it
right
tastes
there.
really good. And she was like, "Oh, okay, I'll have to try it." And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, please."
Want to go to
I
Hawaii?
like it.
Try
I
some
like
volcano water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm just down for Hawaii stuff.
I want to go, not just for the good vibes and peaceful wonderful water island.
The
but
peace, love, and positivity, man.
Not. I mean, that sounds fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but I want to try food over there too.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so good, especially if you get any seafood, fish stuff over there. It's gonna be fresh, and it just tastes so fucking bomb.
I've never had anything fresh before, so
Yeah, when I went, there's this food truck.
they cook it still, right?
Yeah,
Okay, thank
Oh, yeah.
God, because I can't do it.
you can't do raw.
Fuck no, bro. I mean, yeah, not with fish.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh, definitely not. That's not my. It's more. I've given it a try before with sushi, and it's not so much the flavor that bothers me. I think it still tastes pretty good, but that shit's just squishy, bro.
But I think when yeah, I feel you.
It's
But when
just
you
that
have it over there,
texture.
dude, when you have it, when it's literally caught fresh, it's so much different.
And you're actually eating it right away.
Yeah, I had the first time I went, probably 4 or 5 years ago. The first day we got there was a super big like fishing competition,
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure I've told the story on here before.
I think so. I was gonna say
But-
this sounds familiar.
But anyway, like anybody who's anybody that fishes over there,
Goes to the competition, eh?
yeah, basically gets in their boat, and it's not like a crazy competition where people are like trying to win hella shit. It's more like a communal thing, right? Where
That's
like
cool.
people get together, they watch it. They watch people like bring all these big ass freaking fish in.
Yeah.
But my cousin's husband, his friend, caught like this super big like tuna,
Oh shit.
and gave him like a super big slab of it, and that shit's like $30 a pound, like hella expensive.
Dang.
And so we had it like a day later, like a day or two later, and that shit was crazy.
That sounds bomb.
Like I was definitely one. I was like, I don't know about like raw fish. I don't know if I'm fucking
mm-hmm.
down for that shit. And they're like, no, you just got to try it. And so I ate it, and it tasted like if you got like a medium rare steak, you know, maybe not, it's not like warm, obviously, but it has sort of like the chewier texture.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just bomb. And then they like cooked it up, and it tasted like chicken, which was pretty fucking crazy.
That sounds good to me. I'll do that all day. Yeah.
But then there was this last time we went to this food truck. I forgot what it was called, but they did like ahi katsu, so like just fried ahi, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know what fucking sauce that they had on there, but it was fucking ridiculous.
Delicious.
It was so freaking good.
Sauces are some of my favorite like discoveries when it comes to food, because it's like when you have like a good sauce, you're like, oh, this would go so good with so many things.
Yeah, it's like, and you're just like, what is this, dude?
Holy shit, it changes your life, man. Yeah, good sauce can like make or break something, honestly.
1000%. But yeah, they put like a good sauce and like a nice like oil or something on it. Like they put like a mixture of sauces on there.
Yeah,
and it just tastes so fucking good.
Sounds delicious.
The thing in Hawaii though, like a lot of places have like mac salad for like a side.
Okay.
You know,
yeah,
which
I'm down with that.
I like mac salad, so I was like, I was super down.
I didn't for a long time, but then when I started having like Hawaiian barbecue stuff more, like around here, obviously.
Yeah.
Same thing. It always comes with that as a side, and it's just good shit.
It's bomb, dude.
It's like a nice little counterbalance for sure.
It makes me want to go back to Hawaii so bad.
Oh, dude, I know. I want to go. So next time you're
we
planning a trip,
we need to plan a trip, dude.
Let's do it. I'm down.
We need to plan like a friend group trip.
Yeah,
dude.
for sure.
Cause I'm telling you, after taking that one to Big Bear, like those are so fun.
Yeah,
like especially you get like the right group of people together.
Yeah, totally.
You know, that like are there to have fun. Yes. You know, not be all dramatic and shit like that.
Vibe, man.
Exactly. Like it's such a good fucking time. Especially you just like, what do we want to do today? I don't know. Let's find some shit to do. And then you just go and figure it out. Yeah. You go and do shit. And you go explore. You go be like tourists. And you go freaking. That sounds cool. You know, man, and you just like figure out what to do.
I'm honestly down for either like weather extreme, but I do have to say a snow trip sounds more appealing to me.
Yeah,
just because like Hawaii obviously is a more appealing place, but I feel like I've been to like a beach vacation before.
You've never been to a beach vacation like
I know it's different. I'm just saying, like, I've been to like Mexico a few times, and like that feels like very like beautiful paradisey by the ocean kind of vibes. I still have never gone to the snow.
It's fun, dude.
And I want to go fucking snowboarding. I know you have your feelings about it.
I mean, I'm down.
But we're going.
I'm down to go snowboarding.
If we go, we're gonna go snowboarding.
To me, like it's got to be a thing that I plan in advance. It can't just be like I'm there and
a
like
whim.
And like, oh, I'm gonna spend $200-$300 on fucking
after we just to
spent
$200-$300 to
exactly.
Get here.
You know, I gotta be like, okay,
it has to be part of the budget.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking, you know, I gotta save up to do this because I don't have a fucking snowboard.
No, I'm gonna have to rent.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rent, and you know, depending where we're at, it's just there's a whole lot like of logistics that go into it.
I'm gonna start doing the research right
that
now.
You know that me personally, I can't just like jump into. I don't have the funds to just jump into that right away.
You know who I bet? I agree with you on that because we would both have to probably save. But like, I bet you anything we could probably lean on Jacob or Diggs because I know for a fact both of them have gone a bunch.
Okay.
So I'm sure they'd know the best way to figure stuff out.
Okay, 100%.
Just be like, hey, one of you plan it. You tell me how much it costs, and then we'll figure it out.
I would need to get actual like because I have like boots, right? I have like hiking boots and stuff that I used when I went there and that were fine. But also like there wasn't like a lot of snow, so it wasn't like I needed actual fucking like crazy boots. You know?
Yeah. I have a jacket that I got as like a hand-me-down a long time ago that still fits me. That's like a snow jacket, but that's it. Everything else I would need to go get as well.
Yeah, I have my Patagonia one and that, or no, not Columbia one.
Oh yeah,
and that's my one that I'm just gonna be using forever now.
Columbias are nice.
It's good. It has like this lined like inside that reflects like your body heat, so like you stay warm. Yeah, I know, fancy, fucking fancy, dude.
Freaking wardrobe technology,
fucking fancy, bro.
Very fancy.
I'm fucking fancy out here, dude.
We're fucking fancy, bro.
We're fucking fancy, bro.
I got gifted a Columbia like jacket and like sweater combo.
Oh.
That either one of them already makes me like too fucking hot
Mm-hmm.
for comfort. So like I couldn't even imagine wearing the two of them together, but they're like supposed to go together.
Dang.
So yeah,
Well,
maybe
my
that
man's-
would work too.
Yeah, that's true. My man is too hot for comfort over there. But together, you already know what it is, guys. This is Too High for TV, where two guys get too high and talk about a little bit too much TV.
Just a little.
This is episode number 88.
Crazy.
Crazy,
It's a
dude.
good number.
It is. I like it.
88.
88, 2 8s. There's like some good luck behind 2 8s for sure. I don't know what it
has to
is,
be,
but there
yeah.
has to be.
Double infinity, bro.
Oh, fuck.
Double
That's like
infinity.
that's like when you're in school and trying to like one up everybody and they're like, "Oh, infinity," and you're like, "Fuck, infinity plus
Infinity
1, bro."
one.
You're
doesn't make any sense.
He's like, "Fuck,
Yeah.
dude, this fucking guy. God damn it, how did he know?"
God damn it. Yeah. And then you have the one person who tries to be like, infinity and 2, and then nobody
You're like,
laughs.
they're like, "Shut the
Like,
fuck
it's not
up.
funny anymore.
Shut
bro.
up."
That's it.
That's what I would do. I'd just be like, "Hey, bro, shut the fuck up."
Yeah, dude.
Fucking copied him over here.
The Crazy 88s too, right? Isn't that what they're called in Kill Bill? The Crazy 88. The dudes that like, what's her name fights in the big famous scene at the end.
I think
Let me
so.
look it up. I'm pretty sure
Maybe.
that's what they're called. Yeah.
The Crazy 88.
Maybe we don't want to associate ourselves with the bad guys of Kill Bill, but
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm down to associate myself with the bad guys in Kill Bill.
dude, you know what I saw? Oh, sorry. What were you gonna
I was
say?
gonna say, yeah, guys, episode number 88. If you
Yeah.
liked episode number 87, where we talked about music,
Yeah.
and you want to hear more of that,
please let us know.
let us know what
we're
music
gonna
you want
probably
us.
do it anyway.
Oh, 100%
but-
we're gonna fucking do
yeah.
it. I already have my next album in mind that we're
Okay.
gonna fucking listen to for sure. But yeah, if you liked our music podcast, you want to hear more of it, let us know. DM us, leave us a comment on YouTube, anything, and we'll be happy. You know, tell us what you want to hear us talk about.
We'll listen to it. And we'll
And
talk
we
about
will.
it.
Will I be happy when I listen to it? I don't know.
It depends on what you ask us to listen to.
Hmm.
But yeah, the Crazy 88, that is what they're called. Yeah.
Awesome. So,
But I was going to say too, I saw this thing, which I think it's a shame that it never happened. And I think that it should happen at some point is apparently there was plans a long time ago, like pre-2000s, to do a Dark Kingdom as part of Disneyland, where it would be a section purely just for the villains. And so it would be like Maleficent's castle. It's like the main centerpiece of stuff, and like I have all that like bad stuff roaming around. But honestly, I think that would be so fucking tight, dude.
I would love it.
Just like
They should make that like a 21 over like
yeah,
section.
for sure. That'd be cool because
Mhm.
then it's like a little bit more party vibes. You can get a little more scary and spooky with it in parts and
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah,
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
how many kids are gonna be like, yeah, let's go to the villain section of freaking
Yeah.
Disneyland? You know?
Maybe build like the entrance or whatever, like, you know, that can be kid friendly where like
Mhm.
you have like the more friendly villains standing ready to like take pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
But like once you get deep into that shit, bro, like make it like dark fantasy. Bro.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking cool.
Got to be 21 to fucking
Yeah,
do this shit.
That'd be awesome. But then they'd have to make it some like fun Disney-esque thing where like they can't just ask you for your ID, you know? They have to be like your magical identification card, please. Or like some bullshit, you know? Like
They're like, give us your social security number
Yeah.
before you can walk in.
when you walk up, if you want to go there, you have to like register your social security number
Yeah.
before you walk into the park.
Yeah, they'd probably make you like sign some type of fucking like waiver shit.
Yeah.
You know? Well, actually, I don't know, because like California Adventure is like 21 over. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not specifically 21 and over, but like
Yeah.
you get beer and you get all
Well,
that fucking shit there.
The
you know?
other thing too is like the cantina at Star Wars Land now is like you register all of your stuff on the app. So like I think I did still have to show my ID when I got there, but like I couldn't even queue up as like part of it unless I like showed all of the proper information. So it could probably be something like that too. They have this new shit that I was gonna try to fuck with, but it was really expensive. Where like I think they call it like a magic band or something, but you buy it and it is basically the app on this thing, and so like anything that you need it to do, it automatically knows like when you're in proximity to like a pay station, so you can just like Apple Watch your shit, or like when you're going to like a fast pass lane or something, it knows and it like brings up the right one and you just like tap it. So it's basically like an Apple Watch for Disney. But I could see them doing something like that too, you know? Like when you buy one, when you register it, you like register it as like a 21 and over one. So then it's just like walk in and scan it, you know?
There's just so much to like have to know beforehand about Disneyland nowadays. Like I feel like you can't just like if you're gonna go for the first time, you're probably gonna have such a hard time if you don't go with someone that like knows the ins and outs of it, you know?
I think it depends on how much time you give yourself to spend there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will say that, like, if you just go and you don't pay attention to any of the maps, you don't pay attention to any of the apps, any of that stuff, the park itself just physically is already built in such a way that you're naturally guided to like all of the major things in it. It's a trip to see it, like, especially after you like watch a video or two about it. Like, that place is like a literal movie that you're walking through.
Okay.
And there's like points of interest that will like subconsciously pull you to shit. But it's so fucking busy there now. If you want to get on like a lot of stuff, you do have to be prepared with your apps and your fast pass and your this and your that, which is why I say, like, if you can only afford like a couple day trip or something, which is like I think what we did last time, then like you got to be on it. If you're like trying to go on rides and trying to try all the stuff and everything like that. But like I did miss that magic. There is something special about just like walking around
and just
Disneyland.
going,
Yeah,
you know?
and just like getting lost in all the different worlds and like details that they have in all the parts of the park and stuff. It's cool.
Because I feel like that is the fun thing about an amusement park is like just showing up and it's like
around.
it's like fuck, okay, what are we gonna do, you know? Whereas like Disney, like you're saying, like if you have these rides that you want to go on, you know they're gonna be busy, you have to be like scientific about it and really like itinerary your shit out and be like, at this time we're gonna fucking go here, we're gonna get fast passes for this time, you know what I'm saying? And even like the fast pass shit is so different now, you know?
Now you schedule times, so like basically you like, but like the best thing to do is you get a time for the thing that you really want to ride, and then you go find something else that has like a short line, so that while you're waiting on that, you wait for like 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour, get on that ride you're waiting for. So then by the time you're done, it's like 20 minutes until your time for the other ride.
Which I guess that isn't so, because I haven't been to Disneyland in such a long time. And like the way I remember is like they had like the specific like kiosk stations for like the fast pass, and you go up there and there was like a slotted time of like, you know, 1:10 you come back and this is like your fast pass time, you know, so it's not like completely different, but like
it's just digital now.
It's just digital.
They scan your QR code on your phone and everything,
which, you know, is cool.
It's more convenient. It's just like I would be interested to see how much they put into it back then, because like I don't remember it either. And like if there was some cool like Disney-fied like stub that you got, then like cool, that's a collector's item, that's dope. But like if it was just a piece of paper, then like
I think it was similar to like, if I remember correctly, it was like similar to like a fucking movie ticket or something.
Okay,
like
yeah,
that,
so it's like a stub,
yeah. Which, you know, again, I haven't been in so long. Like I probably have not been in like, what am I 20? So I for sure haven't been in like over 10 years.
Okay, yeah.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's a trip, dude. It's pretty cool there. There's a lot of fun stuff, and like I think one of my favorite parts about like that park in particular, and California Adventure too, is just like the details and stuff of like just little things that they do. Like they're so on the ball and paying attention to stuff. Like I don't remember if I told you or not, but like when we did go this last year, everything was all like Marvel and Star Warsified, right? Especially in California Adventure. Like there's like the whole Avengers campus now, and there was like this fucking cool ass shit where like all of a sudden you start hearing Black Panther music playing.
Oh damn.
And like the Dora Milaje is like walking down the fucking thing, right? And like doing their whole fucking shit, spinning the staffs around and stuff. There's like a whole fucking procession of them, and they get up to do their show and whatnot. But like before they start, they like stand there and they're like, we want to take a moment like quickly to honor our king, if you don't mind, like a moment of silence and shit. And the whole fucking park dies down, bro.
Damn, that's
and it's
cool.
just like chills. I'm like, holy shit, like that's so insane to me that like something that's like a fucking superhero movie, right, or whatever, can like be so powerful in the right setting of it or whatever.
Yeah,
that's like a big one. But like even just like a funny small detail too that like Evelyn just showed me is Avengers Campus took over where Bugs Life used to be. But what's fucking hilarious is,
rest in peace to Bugs Life.
Yeah, but so they did Ant-Man stuff there, right? Which is like a fitting like shift, like the small and stuff. And if you catch the actor who plays Ant-Man at the right time, he actually has the Bugs Life park still shrunken down.
Damn.
In like a little tube. Like
That's
they saved
cool.
it. Yeah,
That's
like they
cool.
quote unquote saved it, you know? So like Just little stuff like that, like they really build up the
Mhm.
lore and the world of that park
Mhm.
amongst all the lore and stuff that it occupies in media too. So
Mhm.
like it's really cool.
Dang.
Yeah, they got details for days, bro. Cars is super fucking fun too.
Mhm.
You have to do cars. Cars is the shit. Carros. Yeah, but it's a good time. I love Disneyland. It's awesome.
Yeah, I have not been in such a long time. I would love
It's
to go.
magical.
Fucking Disneyland.
That's
man.
not such a bad trip because you can always drive to LA,
Mhm.
find a decent hotel that like is somewhat close or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you just have to pay for like a couple of day passes or whatever.
Yeah. And I imagine like most hotels that are not like hella close, but around the vicinity probably have like shuttles and shit that like take you to and from. You know,
Most definitely.
got to be smart like that.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
I would probably run a shuttle business down there.
Yeah, you'd
For
make
sure.
a lot of money, especially if you're in Anaheim or like even like around Universal or something like that.
Mhm.
Even just downtown,
Yeah.
probably.
Oh, yeah.
Like anywhere high traffic, you'd be.
Well, I
good.
mean, downtown like is probably more like
Ubers
Uber and
yeah.
like Lyfts and,
maybe a
and
couple
shit
of
like that.
taxis still, but
Yeah, but like if I was like around the park area, like for sure shuttle business, cause like
that's business all day.
it's business all day.
Mhm.
That's like a lot of business too, because
Mhm.
like you're getting like groups of people that are
Mhm.
going. You're getting 2+.
Yeah, definitely. And like I think you could probably do it too, because like I know that there are some that are like partnered with the parks and stuff like that, and so
Mhm.
they're all like Disneyed up and shit when
Oh,
you're on
yeah.
the shuttle too. But like I'm pretty sure I've also been on some where it's just like it looks like some dude driving a big old bus
Yeah,
full of
that's
people,
what
and I'm like, yeah, cool.
I would be some dude just driving.
Yeah,
a fucking
exactly. You
bus.
make tons of money, bro, and all you have to do is drive around all day. Like, yeah, that'd be great.
Shit.
So close to Disney magic, but yet so far away. That's probably not too bad. I'm sure that would work out pretty well.
Yeah. You'd make some decent cash.
Some decent cash.
Some decent cash.
Some decent cash. Did I last week when we did the episode, I can't remember. Did I tell you about the Sonic shit that we went to? The Sonic Symphony?
I don't think so.
Okay, I can't remember if we had gone or not because I have terrible memory and can't remember anything ever. But I'm not sure if we had already gone or if we went sometime in between or whatnot. But me and Diggs took Caleb to the Sonic Symphony in San Francisco.
Okay, I think I might remember.
I think I told you about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super cool. I had a great time. It was awesome. They played tons of songs from my childhood. It was fantastic.
Hell yeah.
But the reason I bring it up is because Diggs was looking at dates for the venue. And I think in March or April,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing the live symphony with the movie.
Oh, shit.
They're doing Empire Strikes Back and they're doing Fellowship of the Ring.
Wait, when is this?
They're coming up, bro, in like the next couple of months.
Oh, yeah, we got to figure this out.
They're expensive ass tickets
I don't
from what
give a
Diggs was telling
fuck.
me, but we're going to one at least. I
Yeah.
really want to go to both.
Yeah.
But like right now, I was talking to my dad, I was talking to Grampy, I was talking to Diggs,
Mhm.
and like we're for sure down to go see Star Wars.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We're gonna go watch Empire for sure. And then like maybe honestly, depending on who's down, I might be down to go watch Fellowship too, because like, God, that would be fucking amazing. Bro.
Oh, fuck
Just
yeah,
to
dude.
hear all that music live while you're watching the movie and shit. But it's cool. It was the first time I saw symphony stuff like that, and I can only imagine watching it to like one of my favorite movies of all time. Empire is like my default. When somebody asks me what's your favorite movie, I just default to that. I'm
To
like,
Empire Strikes Back?
Empire's my favorite. I was like, I love Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite Star Wars movie is Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm.
By process of elimination, that's probably my favorite movie. Like, if I thought about it really hard, I could argue forever with myself about like what my favorite movie is, you know? But like, yeah, when I need a stock answer, it's like, yep.
Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like how you go Empire, not like no Lord of the Rings one goes in there like by default.
Of my favorite movies?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the Return of the King is, well, all three of those movies are up there, but like, Star Wars is just my favorite thing of all of the things. Like, it even beats out Marvel for me at the end of the day, I think.
Dang.
It's hard. I go back and forth, but like, Star Wars has just been with me since I was a baby boy.
Yeah, I feel you.
So like, that's just my go-to at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll always go back to Star Wars. If I could only pick 3 movies, as wonderful of a trilogy as Return of the Lord of the Rings is, it's probably the superior trilogy. I would still take Star Wars.
Would you take the original trilogy?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You are a Star Wars diehard for sure.
Those are the movies right there, dude. Those are the ones.
Dude, this shit makes me burpy, bro. I feel all burpy over
Get a
here.
little bit of bubble gut going. Yeah.
No, not bubble gut. Not bubble guts.
Oh no.
No, bubble guts is at least in my.
That's poops.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, not burps. Okay.
No, that is like bubble guts is like some like borderline diarrhea shit going on.
Oh damn.
That is like
Bubble guts for me is usually just gas.
Oh, okay.
But like, I mean, I get it. Yeah, for sure. It's you could save it for like a much heavier occasion.
Yeah, in my lifetime, that's always like, in like my family at least, that's how I've always taken it. Like bubble guts is like
You're on the verge.
Yeah, homie's been on the toilet hella times today.
You got some bubble guts, buddy.
And most of the time, it probably hasn't been very solid.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. I always just think of fucking blooper. My favorite blooper reel of all time is the one from Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris Pratt has one on there where he's like at the doctor and he's like, I got bubble gut. I got bubble guts and hot snakes. Like, what? So hot snakes. It's when the poop comes out like a hot snake.
Damn. Hot snake.
So stupid.
Fucking use
But it's
that
Chris Pratt, bro.
That's
He
so
just
funny.
delivers it so perfectly. It cracks me up every fucking time, dude.
Fuck.
He's so good.
Dude, my favorite like behind the scenes like story for any show I think is when Bryan Cranston was on Seinfeld and he plays like this dentist
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, yeah, we're and he's like telling the story on like one of like the nightly shows or whatever. I forget who it was, if it was like Colbert or freaking.
Oh yeah, okay.
And he's just like, yeah, we're running through the scene where Seinfeld's at the dentist and I'm his dentist, blah 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 blah, and we do it. And like, okay, like, and I'm sitting there and I'm just trying to go through it a little bit more. And all of a sudden I hear from like the top like rafters or blah, 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 someone on the ladder's just like, hey, it'd be funny? And like Bryan Cranston like looks and he's like, what? And he's like, and the guy's like, yeah, if you, what if you like took a hit of like the laughing gas before you gave it to Seinfeld? And he's just like, damn, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
And so if you watch that episode, he does that. He's
That's
like, all right,
awesome.
are we ready? And he like asks for it from like his like nurse that's helping him or whatever, and he gets it and he like takes a hit and he's like, and then he like puts it like gives it to Seinfeld, and like he was saying Seinfeld was like cracking up when he was doing that shit,
awesome.
dude.
That's hella funny. That I've never really gotten into that show that much. Did you watch the show, Seinfeld?
I've watched it a little bit only because like
it's heralded as one of the classics.
yeah. I've only watched it because like Efren says like, dude, like the writing on that
Okay.
shit's crazy, and like
That's what I've heard,
Mhm.
is that the writing is like it's top tier like comedy writing.
yeah, because he's like, it's like from the point he's like telling like he's like doing a comedy bit, and he's like telling about like his life and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
I
w-
just think of oh no, I'm thinking of Bob Saget. My bad. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Seriously. R.I.P.
No, I've been on a Soprano kick lately.
The Sopranos?
I've started
Nice.
watching The Sopranos.
Is this the first time you're watching it?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I've only seen, I think, the first 2 seasons and like a little bit of 3, but this was a long time ago, so I don't remember much. But it's very good.
Oh yeah, no, I'm on season 2.
Nice.
I've been meaning to watch it, but it is like I was telling my mom like I have just like a thing when shows are heralded as like the best shows of like all time.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, is it really?
It's
like,
just hard.
It's hard to start to watch it because you want it to live up to those expectations.
Yeah, but you're scared that it won't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But and then I was hanging out with Emily last week and we were talking about, and she was talking about that and how she's like watched a hell of time. She's like, dude, that shit's fucking crazy. Like that is for sure like one of the best shows of all time. And I was like, fuck. All right. Multiple people are telling me this shit. I was like, let's do it. And I like tried it and I was like, God damn, this is really fucking crazy. It's so good. Like it's such a show that's like, it's so ahead of its time. It's actually fucking ridiculous.
It's also just like so classic too, because like it feels like the natural evolution of like the Godfathers and like, the mafia movies of like those heydays and stuff like that, but like brought into a modern world, and then like actually really dealing with that in the story too, like it not just being like an aesthetic thing. It's like, oh, they're not in their heyday anymore, and they like have more problems and shit to deal with now all the time. It's like it's good shit, bro.
And what's like so smart about it, and why I say it's like so ahead of its time, is like you have someone like a Tony Soprano who's like, his character is this super macho masculine like entity, right? And he's going to therapy.
Yeah.
Like one of the like at that time considered one of the least masculine things, right?
Yeah.
And
What,
like
sending me to a fucking shrink or what?
yeah, and like it's so like it's so smart, like having those like things contrast each other. Like this guy who's supposed to be like this super hardcore, super manly, like I don't talk about my feelings, I don't need to go to a shrink because one, that makes me seem like I'm weak, and two, like people think I'm a fucking rat.
Yeah.
But it's also like he's in therapy and he realizes like he's realizing like how good it is for him, but he just doesn't want to accept that it is, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get to the second season when he's like not in therapy and you see like how
it has a negative effect on him. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm just like, damn, this is so smart. And like just there's like a lot of things that they deal with that are like that just feel like ahead of its time, right? Like dealing with like generational like traumas and like, you know, shit that like, you know, because his mom's like super fucked up to him, and it was always super fucked up to him as a kid. And like he's obviously when he goes to therapy, his therapist is like, you know, your mom sucks, and he like doesn't want to come to grips with that.
Yeah.
But then he realizes it as he's like sitting there and trying to talk to her and trying to do all these things, and like you're just like, oh wow, like damn, like
she
this
is terrible.
she is fucking she is terrible.
Yeah.
Like this sucks.
Yeah. No, it's really good, dude. It's crazy. Like it's wild too how like that show came out so long ago. That's like what, early 2000s?
Yeah, like I
right?
think like 99
to like probably 2007, 2006 or
like
something.
yeah,
like that.
five or six, because it only
Yeah.
ran for 6 seasons. I thought
Okay.
there was like so many more seasons. I thought it
No,
was like
yeah.
10, 12 seasons.
It's one of those HBO ones where I feel like they are so much larger than life that like you expect them to have a ton of seasons, but HBO stuff is usually like relatively tame. I feel like you have like less than 10 seasons, like maybe even less than 8 a lot of the times. But yeah, it's crazy how like a show that popular that people loved so much, even all the way back then. And then like how many years later though does it take for those things to actually hit in like reality, you know? Like people will be willing to accept like a masculine macho mafia man going to therapy in a TV show.
Yeah.
But then like even still for a long time after that, it's like you don't fucking go to therapy, bro.
Yeah.
Even if Tony Soprano goes to therapy, you don't go to therapy.
And I think that's why it's so smart. It's like it's hiding all these, not necessarily hiding, like all the things it's trying to talk about are very much in your face, but masking it with like, oh, this is a show about the mafia and this is a show about the mob. People are like, oh fuck.
That's
like,
where the
fuck
drama
yeah.
comes from. That's where
Fuck
like
yeah.
the like the hook is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you can get into people easily with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's just like so many good like little things about the writing, like in the first couple episodes he has his homie, I think it's like Silvio or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Who's really good at doing like a fucking like a Scarface impression. And the one line they always have him like say, like they do it in like the first couple episodes and then they don't do it again until like the first or second episode of the second season. But it's the just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. And it's like, it's funny because when he first does it, it's like this comedic relief thing, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, ha, 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 this is funny. And then the second time it like rings a little bit more true because he's going to therapy. He's realizing how good it is for him. And not that he's like trying to step away from the mob life, but he's trying to take steps to like better his own life, you know, and things like that. But then mob shit starts happening and he has to like go back into it. And you're like, oh, fuck, like, damn. And then it rings true for like the therapy too, because like there's multiple times when he's just like, I'm fucking done with this. Like, I'm not coming back.
Yeah, definitely.
And then he fucking comes back because he realizes he has shit that he needs to talk about and he likes talking about it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, holy shit, like this is so like well fucking done.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Have you seen the clip of Michael Cera doing the
Oh yeah.
all due respect, you got no fucking idea what it's like being number one.
It's so funny because like
he's actually good.
he's good,
It's just
but
he doesn't have the voice for it.
Yeah.
That's all. The acting is on point. He's just not the right like build for it.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's I don't know if I mean it's not that he's not the right build, but I think just like the voice, he doesn't have that like that tone of voice.
Yeah.
You know, he has like a little
He's
bit of
way
like
up there. He sounds like Michael Cera.
Yeah.
All due respect.
All due respect, you got no idea what it's like being number one.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Sopranos is what I have
Yeah.
been on recently, and that
Hell
shit
yeah.
is like top
Hell
tier,
yeah.
man, top fucking tier.
Hell yeah. I've been I'm watching for like starting for the second or third time at this point, Reservation Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
and I've been enjoying it. I watched an episode a really long time ago with my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and then recently I watched like the first two with my sister,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went back and I watched the first two, and then got to like the third one I think with Buddy.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try to continue to watch it with her until she outdoes me and probably binges it all on her own.
Oh, dude, she's gonna finish it.
She's
in,
gonna
like,
leave me in the dust. It's only like 3 seasons too, so it's like
she's gonna like.
it'll be over. Like
You'll be
that.
talking to her one day, and then like the next day she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm done with it."
I finished it.
And you're like, "What are you talking about?" Like, we were just talking about this yesterday.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's really good too. And then also I was tripping because I was watching it, and I think Diggs texted me this when it came out, but he was telling me that like a ton of the actors or not a ton, but a good little handful of the actors in Res Dogs are in Echo.
Okay.
And I was curious, did you finish watching it yet or no?
I did.
Okay.
Did finish watching it.
I wanted to get your overall thoughts on it because I think in general everybody's in agreement about the ending.
Oh,
The
dude,
ending
it
is
sucked.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's a very, very heavy drop off
Mm-hmm.
for me compared to like the quality of the rest of the season. Because like, I think episodes 1 through 4 are fucking kick ass. I really liked Echo a lot.
I do think it was pretty like those. Yeah, I
It was
would
kind
agree.
of crazy. Like
Yeah.
it was kind of like, what the fuck happened, bro? Like you had such a good thing going.
Same thing. I think it's just the same thing that I find wrong with all of the Marvel shows. Is I just wish they're a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Especially this one, like being 5 episodes, like
Yeah, it was really short.
really short.
It was like their first Marvel Spotlight thing, I guess, right? So I guess that's supposed to be smaller, but I feel like you could at least do 6.
Like to me, like if you're gonna do these 5 episodes, like it felt like they made a movie and then just didn't edit down the movie, and we're like, okay, we're just gonna split it up into all these episodes, you know?
The other thing too, though, that like got me was like, cause I get that sentiment when it comes to stuff like a Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Mm-hmm.
or like a Moon Knight, even, you know, like I still love both of those. I think they're great, but with this one, I think it was written well for like the time span that it was in. It was just how things got resolved in the last one.
It's way too fast.
It was just too. I'm even okay if everything got wrapped up in that episode. It was just so like opposite from like the really nitty gritty, like down on the ground, like Dark Knight-esque, like Daredevil style shit,
Mm-hmm.
that like all of a sudden to jump into like Avengers level camp of just like, I have my powers figured out, and now my grandma's gonna kick your ass, and my best friend's gonna kick your ass. Yeah, like I'm even down. I liked the Kingpin shit that they did, because like I was reading a lot of stuff on it, and like I finally saw a quote from Vincent D'Onofrio, and I could not agree more. But like a lot of people were like complaining about that scene because it's like, oh, is she cured Kingpin or what? Like he's fine now, blah blah blah. And it's like, no, bro, like that fool is just like clear of his bullshit now, which makes him like 10 times more dangerous.
Yeah.
Like now he just doesn't have to deal with, or not doesn't have to, but like he started to deal with one of the things that like held him back the most, which is just like his violent outbursts of anger and shit, right? Like with that gone, he's like a scary force.
Yeah.
Especially with like the post-credit scene of like him probably running for mayor and shit like that.
That was alright. That was alright. That was an okay post-credit scene.
I think it's gonna be good. I don't dislike the post-credit scene. I just think they could have done something better than for this, like for Echo, you know? Like if that was like a post-credit scene and like another little project coming up, like I would have been happy. But
it honestly didn't even need to be a post-credit scene. Like that could be just like part of the ending for your show.
I would have rather have
like
seen,
we see where Maya is at the end. We could also see where Kingpin is at the end, you know? And we don't need to save that for a post-credit scene.
I would have rather seen like the really thing I would have rather seen is Daredevil come back.
Oh yeah.
Like I would have liked to see a little reunion really quickly of like maybe Maya out like, you know, on patrol or something, and like Matt shows up and it's like, hey, you have potential or whatever kind of bullshit, you know. But also too, I just would have been down to see something else, like even if it was just like a goofy thing with Maya and them, because like that was a little abrupt for me too. It's like she just shows up at the party at the end, smiles at everybody, gives grandma a kiss, and then it's over. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, like at least let him like say something. I don't know, a joke, whatever. I don't know. It was definitely rushed.
Well, she can't say something.
That's fair, but you know what I mean. Yeah. That's another thing too that I loved about the show was like how much they leaned into that, and like from what I heard, everybody on set like took ASL lessons and stuff like that to be able to like actually communicate with what's her name? I think it's Alakwa Cox.
I have no clue.
Anyways, the actor that plays Maya, she's actually deaf, and I think she is also actually an amputee as well.
Oh, interesting.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's maybe part of the character of Echo 2 already. I could be wrong, but in some iteration or another, I think she was also deaf and an amputee, which is just like a crazy crossroads to find like an actor who is both of those things and then plays this character so very well.
It's also a crazy thing, like just in terms of like Echo the character, for someone to come up with like, yeah, this chick's gonna be fucking deaf and she's also gonna be missing a fucking leg.
Yeah, hardcore.
And she's gonna kick ass.
They're running out of stuff to like for like superhero origins, and
they're like shit, Daredevil's blind.
Yeah, like I guess we could have a deaf character. Yeah. They're like, fuck, might as well take her leg off too, bro.
Yeah, they were like, fuck. They're like, I mean, yeah, we can make her deaf, but it's almost too much like Daredevil. They're like, what if we cut her leg off?
Like, perfect.
You got it.
Print it.
Print it. Print it. Send it out.
Exactly. But I did love that aspect of it, because like I found myself tripping at like multiple points of like, damn, I'm like fully welling up, nervous, invested, scared, laughing or whatever at like shit that I can't even hear, like that is being translated to me in like subtitles, like it's all in their face still, and like in the emotion that they're still giving as actors, and it's like really good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I liked how they were able to incorporate like I think in the first episode, like those first few episodes, they really made the atmosphere an emphasis, like the sounds in the atmosphere an emphasis. Like it almost felt like they put in certain like B-roll or whatever scenes where you have like just shit going on in the background to like make the audience aware of the sounds, and then when they were going to take them away and show you Maya's perspective to like have that like be more impactful. I thought that was really smart, because I really liked those. Like the first time it happened, I was like, holy shit, like this is so fucking cool.
Dude, when it happens in like the fight scene in the warehouse, that shit's crazy.
Fuck
dude. Yeah, it's intense.
Because I was like, holy shit, like what a creative way to put us in the perspective of our main character.
Yeah.
And like it also felt very genius in like the way they were able to like do the sound design to like fade in and out of like it being super loud and then it being super quiet, because you're Maya and she's freaking deaf, you know, and stuff like that.
Definitely, yeah. And then that fight scene is just amazing too.
So
and
sick.
It's so good to see
so
Daredevil
fucking sick.
back in action.
Dude, that was awesome. That's the reason why I texted you to watch it, because I was like, because I freaked out when I saw
it's insane, bro.
I was watching it and I was like, oh shit.
I knew he was gonna be in it. I did not know that it was gonna be that intense. Like that was crazy, bro.
He just shows up, straight up Daredevil pose,
kicks the shit out of everybody.
Oh yeah,
even Maya like doesn't. I mean, she does actually put up a good fight. I will say that.
Yeah.
But like it's great. He's just like playing. He's not even like trying. He's just like throwing the fucking shit around, like hanging out and stuff, doing Daredevil.
I like his little and he like freaking
oh, it's epic. He's so good. I love it.
Yeah,
his costume looks good too. There's like more red on it.
Yeah,
which I like. I want it to just be all red. Yeah, honestly,
I like it better than the yellow suit that they had.
I did like that one, but like I'm a sucker for classic costume like throwbacks. So
it's okay. I'm not big on the yellow. I like the all red Daredevil. Like
I could see how in general that's like a hard pill to swallow. Like even on a comic book panel, the like yellow and like dark red shit that they have going on is a little intense for sure.
It's just like the red is nice because it
just makes sense with his character.
It's also like, you know, he fights at night. It makes it, you know, it just makes more sense.
I will say of the Netflix variety, my favorite costume is the one in season 3 when he goes back to the black, but it has like the white bandages to like highlight parts underneath. That's my favorite one, bro. Like the Daredevil suits do look fucking sick, but he just looks epic as like a fucking like brawler ninja motherfucker in that 3rd season.
Dude, they knew what was up. Like those Netflix, like
they were all mostly good.
Yeah,
like
Daredevil and Punisher specifically were the best. Super fucking good.
I think Jessica Jones season 1 is also super good.
I couldn't get into that.
You never watched it?
I not really. Okay. I think I need to retry that.
Yeah,
one
Jessica
sure.
Jones is awesome. I never got through Luke Cage. That was the one that like I couldn't really get into. And then I thought Defenders was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Iron Fist. I skipped over that one.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked Iron Fist, but I'm also like a brainwashed dummy boy who's like desensitized to white boys doing karate in pop culture, you know?
Yeah.
So like I could get it, and like the time that it came out, people were like, "Come on, guys! Like, what are you doing, Marvel?"
Yeah.
But like that is the story. Danny Rand is Danny Rand. They didn't like whitewash him or anything. He's just been whitewashed since his
he's
inception.
He's been a white guy.
Yeah, since he was first created back whenever.
Exactly.
But yeah, I liked Iron Fist. I thought it was cool. It was definitely cheesy. It's like I would say the weakest of the shows.
I'm also just a sucker for like karate.
It's
you know
cool.
what I'm saying?
Kung
Like,
Fu's awesome, man. Martial arts shit. It's just fun to see people fight.
Yeah.
And that's all Defenders. That's what all those Netflix shows are. It's like the focus is really on like the choreography of them just like kicking each other's ass, which is cool. It's like arguably more exciting and more fun sometimes than like big explosions and like Hulk powers and stuff like that.
I think with Daredevil and Punisher 2, you also have the added benefit of having fucking John Bernthal and fucking what's some boy's name that plays
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox. Yes. Yeah, like
they're fantastic.
Yeah, they're fucking fantastic.
They're
like,
perfect for the role.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I really cannot picture anyone else but John Bernthal being
Punisher.
the Punisher.
Yeah.
Even like the guys that played the Punisher like in the past, like in the movies.
No, not even close, bro.
Just not even close.
I would say same thing with Charlie Cox too, honestly. Like he's pretty synonymous for me now.
Who else has played Daredevil?
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yeah.
Yeah, which is an easy one, obviously. But I just mean in the
Who
future
was the other
too.
guy that played the Punisher, like in the old school movie? It's someone big too.
Yeah, it was. Let me see. There was two of them. I think wasn't one of them Dolph Lundgren or no?
No. He might have been in
one of the Punisher movies.
Maybe, but for sure was not him.
Thomas Jane, and in 1989, Dolph Lundgren did play the Punisher, bro.
So crazy.
Yes, but then the 2004 one, his name is Tommy Jane. It's this guy right here.
There wasn't a guy before Dolph Lundgren?
I don't know. Let me see. Let me look for more.
Because I could have sworn there was.
And find all the Punisher movies. That might have been the first one, and then I think there was two in the 2000s. Because that one was 1989. I don't think they really made superhero movies a lot before that.
There had to have been one before. Was there old Punisher TV show as well?
Maybe. There used to be a lot of those.
Cause fuck, dude.
Okay, so there was. No, that was the first one. Yeah, so 1989.
Interesting.
And then there was the Punisher with that guy, Tommy Jane, and then there's another one called Punisher Warzone, which is Ray Stevenson played him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's he just passed away. That's Balin Skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Ray Stevenson.
Yeah.
But dang, Dolph Lundgren, that's crazy.
Yeah, he was apparently the first Punisher, I guess, first on-screen Punisher. Which is like, I think for the old like school vibe of the Punisher, like that's great. That's fine. I think that's fantastic.
Just a big jacked guy.
Dolph Lundgren.
Because like in the comics, like
it's just a lot more.
The Punisher, he is a big beefy guy.
Yeah, he's huge, and it's like he still has the same backstory. It's just they weren't concerned with like really diving into like the idea of PTSD because like I think in general too, it was probably a pretty new concept.
Oh yeah.
But like. It was still the same thing of like he was a Vietnam vet who came back and was like, no, the system is corrupt. I'm gonna fix it, and just kills criminals. That's Punisher. That's it.
I also like just hearing like I want more like John Bernthal, Punisher, and Charlie Cox Daredevil like crossover because I like when they get into their like Red, like you think you're fucking right, blah blah blah. Like oh dude, that shit's so awesome. That shit's so good. Dude.
Those are the greatest. That's like honestly, I don't. It's weird because like. It's probably just because we were like raised and grew up on like interconnected stuff with like Marvel and like even like comic books and like the TV shows too that like we used to watch when we were little, like Cartoon Network stuff would cross over all the time, right? Yeah. Like when you just hear like people from different like franchises like
reference each other,
and just like call each other nicknames and shit, it's like ooh, it like sends tingles to my brain,
so
bro.
Good,
I'm like, oh my god, it's so juicy. I love it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I was watching like I watched that like I was just on YouTube, just like watching shit, and the Punisher fight scenes were like popping up. I'm like, let me watch these.
That
dude.
One in the hallway, bro. When he's in
dude,
prison.
So good,
so insane.
And I was watching it, and like, I forget what movie we watched recently, but there was just like hella slow motion, and I was just like, dude, like this is not how you use slow mo. Like in that prison fight scene in the hallway, they use slow motion. I'm like, okay, this is how you use slow mo right here.
Damn, I remember you saying that, but I can't remember what movie it was for either.
Was it the Marvels?
Maybe. I think it might have been. Yeah. Because I remember we still have to do it too. I remember thinking, and it triggered my memory again right now, is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh god.
Yeah. Oh bro, it's insane, but you gotta watch it. It's awesome. It's ridiculous, but it's very fun to watch for sure. Just Abraham Lincoln killing vampires with a fucking axe, bro. He just has an axe.
Dude, who came up with that shit?
Who cares?
Again, like who comes up with this shit, dude?
It's just amazing. Why does it? That's an idea that comes from the universe.
Yeah,
that's not even the guy.
I love that. Like, I love at least seeing like creative stuff like that. I would rather see creative stuff like that. People trying to do like
something different,
than like legacy sequels and shit like that.
Yeah, or just like full on reboots and stuff. Or
like you see, we're getting a Polar Express 2.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah. I think
I can't get behind it, bro.
Those ones are weird, but at this point now, for me personally, I'm becoming more comfortable with like giving Disney specifically like more license to do that stuff, cuz like sometimes they're good. They're not always good, but like I thought Incredibles 2 was dope.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3 is amazing.
See,
so sometimes they do get it, right? But like I don't know. You never know. Like it really does depend. I feel like nowadays with them, the only reason they are where they are is because they're like batting like pretty 50-50 right now. I can agree with that. 'Cause in my mind, there's no way they're as shit as everybody says they are. Otherwise they wouldn't be a company anymore. So like they do still have some stuff that's coming out that people like. So I feel like they're just in this weird limbo right now where like, for a long time, Disney stuff was produced solely out of like passion and like love for whatever project they were working on, versus like now that has to share space with like the cash grabs and like the legacy sequels that do fucking suck, or like that are very obviously just like try to build out a new franchise or something like that. So like I don't know, because I saw that news too, and like before I watched the movie recently, I would have been like, this is fucking bullshit. But like seeing how magical that stuff was and how long it's been since I've had like a magical Christmas movie in my life, I gotta hold out hope for it, bro.
See, like
I hope it's good.
I understand that, and I like that is like when I've sat there and I've thought about it myself, like I'm like, okay, like it's bringing the magic back of one of my favorite Christmas movies for just a newer generation. Yeah. But then I'm also like, why don't we create something new for the new generation that they can grow up with, and with their kids be like, no, see, this Christmas movie, this is the fucking Christmas movie, rather than like, oh, I like this Christmas movie and it's a sequel from a fucking movie that happened 20 years fucking before, you know? Yeah. Like I can get behind the Incredible sequel because I felt like at the end of the first one it felt like there was always meant to be a number 2, and like I feel like Disney was like Disney Pixar, they were at the point where they like weren't doing hella like sequels like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's like, why can't we like get back to that, you know? Like let's try new, not that they haven't tried new shit, right? But it's like let's create more new stuff for people to like, you know? Like I get it, like Polar Express, like you go back and watch it, I love it, but it's like, let's let that movie be that movie. Yeah. You know, like there's so much magic in that movie. Yeah. Like I feel like making a second one almost dilutes it a little bit more.
I think if the movie sucks, I will agree with you. But until it does, I can't say it because it might be fucking fantastic.
It might be.
It might be a beautiful sequel. You never know.
And honestly, I would hope and pray that when the sequel does come out, that I can come back and eat my words and apologize and say like, hey, you know, I was fucking wrong. But at this point, like I said, I would want them to put their energy towards something new, that the newer generation can herald as their greatest, you know?
I think they
rather than it being an offshoot of something that we consider the greatest from our childhood.
I think that's also too why I said like 50-50, because like I think they do have a healthy balance of both. Like Inside Out is a big one that just came out recently. People didn't like it, but they just did that one with the talking sheep. That was like a whole brand new
Oh,
one,
yeah.
like the storybook one.
Mm-hmm.
Again, batting 50-50, right? It doesn't always hit. Moana.
Soul's a good one.
Soul. Moana's huge. Like, they still do a lot of it. I think it's just that, like, I get the same way. It's just that, like, it's hard to, like, not be defensive when they, like, do something that's from your childhood specifically.
that's
but
true.
I guarantee you, like, our parents probably felt the same way about some of the stuff that would have been, like, sequels to stuff that they grew up with, right? You know? And it's like, but again, it's like, if it does end up being good, then that's even more magical, because it's like that new generation has something to, like, be like, no, this came out when I was a kid. And it's like, yeah, it did. And guess what? The one that started that came out when I was a kid. Like, how beautiful is that? You know?
That's true. That's true.
Of, like, sharing that shit cross generation. But I don't know. It could suck.
I don't
And
like
then
to share,
I might
man.
be eating my words, you know? Like, it might be a garbage Disney cash grab. Who knows? Because they do them every once in a while. But I'm going to hold out hope, especially for the Christmas spirit of things. It's like,
yeah,
Polar
that's true.
Express,
That's
bro.
true.
It's got to be.
That's true. But it's also like, what else are we gonna like? What else is there to explore from the Polar Express? You know?
I will say
what more do you
this.
want to see from the Polar Express? It is what it is.
I will say this, is that if I can get somewhat of a more world building stuff, like a larger, because I think the Polar Express movie is very much like from the central perspective of, like, the kid.
Yeah.
You're just as lost as he is in this whole world of things. So if we can have a perspective on this new movie that, like, lets you understand the whole world a little bit more, and, like, in very Disney-esque fashion, like they do, actually have a genuine explanation for, like, why Tom Hanks is everybody, then, like, that I'm down to go into. Like, tell me, I have experienced the magic from the child's point of view. It's all these years later now. You know your fans are going to be grown-ups. Dive into, like, what does the adult life look like in this magical world?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe
that I can get behind.
maybe the kid goes back to, like, the North Pole or whatever, but he sees, like, Santa struggling to, like, try and keep shit together.
No,
Maybe not
I
that
can't.
hardcore, but you know what I mean, though? Like,
I
that kind of
can't do
vibes.
that.
Like, I honestly, weirdly enough, I think Christmas has potential for franchising, because, like, the Santa Clauses
Yeah, that's true.
are
That's
good.
true.
Like, you don't think
That's
you need
true.
much more out of a Christmas movie, but
That's
then they
true.
give you two, like, one really good sequel, one pretty okay sequel.
I wouldn't even say pretty okay. That third one was just like not good.
The series is actually cool. I do like it. I'm not gonna
The
lie.
series, like
I
the-
watched. I'm almost done with season 1. It's kind of hard to go back to it now. I was trying to watch as much as I could during Christmas.
Yeah.
But it was 2 seasons, and the first one is the first season's actually pretty cool.
Okay.
They dive into, like, you know, I was laughing my ass off because, like, there was multiple times where you and I both were like, what the fuck happened to, like, the previous Mrs. Claus that's talked about in the show?
That's funny.
Like, where the fuck did Homeboy go? What's his name?
Bernard.
Yeah, where did Bernard go? Bernard shows up again, and he tells you where he's been. So,
Fuck
like,
yeah.
they go into all of that shit. It's been so long. They, like, probably know a lot of the questions and shit that people were, like, tripping on, you know? And they, like, did a good job of trying to, like, answer it and shit.
Okay.
And it's also good, too, because it's, like, Santa's powers are, like, fading because people don't believe in Christmas as much anymore. So it's like the world is
okay.
more jaded, you know, and,
Okay.
like, they have to fix shit up. And
Okay.
whatnot. So it's pretty cool.
I can get behind that.
Next Christmas, I would recommend giving it a watch.
Okay.
I can't recommend it during not the Christmas season because it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to watch
Yeah.
Santa Claus shit. Like,
I don't think I watch any Christmas stuff
No.
outside of
It's
the
very-
months of you know,
like
the last week of
late
November.
and December. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of early January for, like, the very, very beginning. I'll watch them.
Honestly, like after Christmas, like I can't. I mean, not that I can't, but it's like
you won't.
I won't. I don't think I've ever found myself watching Christmas movies after Christmas movies that aren't Harry Potter.
Yeah, because that's like a weird, like, crossover bridge where, like, it exists in two worlds. It's
Yeah.
fantasy and it's Christmas.
Yeah.
For, like, 30 minutes of every movie. It's a Christmas movie. Yeah, but next Christmas, I would recommend it. It's good.
Hell yeah. Did you see they're also gonna do like a Wizards of Waverly Place like revival?
Yeah, I did see that. My sister was telling me about that. She showed me the video. That, like, what's his name? I think it's like
David Henry.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Justin Henry, but I
No.
think Justin is his name in the show.
Yeah.
The big brother, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's exciting. Again, too, like, that's another one very much in the same way, like, I was explaining why I'd be down for, like, a Polar Express sequel is, like, they were teenagers during that time. We were kids. A lot of the fans are grown up. Explore what that world and their lives look like now that they're adults and shit. You know, like I think it'd be cool.
It's like iCarly.
Yeah, but you know, cooler because they have.
Because they're wizards.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna lie. That little like sizzle reel that they showed, I hella forgot how like epic that show got back in the day,
was,
bro.
dude.
Like
It was
Alex
really
and
good.
Justin had to like save the fucking world and shit, bro.
They had to duke it out. The whole all the kids had to duke it out to see which one of the kids
was gonna keep their powers.
keep
right?
the powers.
Cheers.
That's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Hardcore.
That's
shit.
so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That you're like, hey, you get to have these powers for a bit, but if
Yeah.
you don't win this competition, you just never get to have these powers
That's
again.
it, dude. Yeah, I know. It is pretty intense, but I like it because it's like
They should go in. They should have a show about people who didn't get their powers and how depressed they were after.
well, that'll be part of the show because like
Mm.
I don't remember how it turns out. Does Justin or Alex get the powers? I think Justin wins, but then he gives them to Alex, right? Or
I can't remember, but
I
I
can't
know
either.
Alex has them in the end,
okay, so
but
then,
I can't remember how she gets them.
okay, so that means that we will see that in like a certain sense because
Mhm.
they're both obviously in it, right?
Mhm.
So and Justin didn't end up with powers, presumably.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want because like two possibilities popped into my head right now. So it's
Mhm.
like one would be that like Alex has the powers, but Justin is still the brainiac. So he's like the guy in the chair vibes
Mm-hmm.
and they face evil together. Or Justin grew up bitter and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna figure out how to get powers. And is maybe
Hmm.
not the villain, but like a dark counterpart, you know, like maybe he gets powers through like a dark source, but he's like, nah, I'm still your brother. I'm gonna fight shit or whatever. But
Maybe
I don't know. Either one of those I'd be down with. I think the second one's more interesting, but
because I think she's only gonna like guest star like every now and then. So I think
that's lame.
I don't think she's like fully like
she should be part of it.
yeah.
They should make it a mini series.
I can see her like coming back every like now and then and like
Well, do you think do you think they'll go mini series or do you think it's gonna run like long seasons?
it'll probably run long seasons
That's lame. That will
because it's
suck.
gonna be like a Disney show. So I can see it like like
I
a
hope
Disney
they just-
Channel like.
I hope it's more like an Ahsoka thing or like a Echo or something, like a Spotlight length. Because like I feel like that's too long to try to do like episode of the week type vibes with that, you know?
But I mean, they did like the Full House revival. They did
That's
like
true.
the iCarly, and
That's
like
true.
it's the same, like the same vibes of like their original shows.
Yeah. Both
But-
of those failed though, right?
Yeah,
got
they just weren't
canceled.
good. They just
Yeah,
really
they
weren't
got
good.
canceled. So try something
Yeah.
different, Disney. Mini series.
I don't know. Like I just don't see you bringing a show back like that and just doing like a mini series out of it. Like, I think it would be a decent idea, but I just don't think like, I don't know, like at least from their point of view, like it would just make more sense to make it just like another fucking kid TV show, that they can just keep running.
You do it really, really good so that you get a whole new generation to come in and you impress the old generation that watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just sell a ton of fucking Wizards of Waverly Place merchandise until
True.
you get to the next
True.
season. Like, you'll make money off of that shit for days, bro. I'll go buy a fucking wand. I don't give a fuck. If it's really good, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know.
But we'll see.
I don't know.
I
I think it's just like,
want them to go more dramatic with it. I
Yeah.
don't want it to just be like, hey, look, the gang's back together.
they need to do a Hannah Montana revival TV show.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd be hella down
would
for
be
that.
good. You know, okay, I will say, if they do day-to-day TV show stuff, this is the last thing I'll say about Wizards of Waverly Place. I would be down if Justin is a dad now.
Yeah.
And he is teaching his kids
Mm-hmm.
like the training stuff of magic. And then Alex could come in, Alex, right? Like,
Yeah.
could come in every once in a while. It's like the one who has the powers and shit, very much like how they did with like the original show.
Yeah.
So like that I could be down with. And I feel like he's old enough to play a dad of like 2 or 3 kids or whatever,
Mhm.
you know? So that's cool. But I still want them to be more dramatic.
It's basically gonna be like you remember when they did like the fucking the Girl Meets World?
Oh yeah. Like,
It's probably gonna be like that,
Yeah,
where
where
it's
it's
literally
the
Boy Meets
character-
World,
yeah.
but just freaking
yeah, they're
his
all
daughter.
older now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'd be down with that. That would be cool. I just don't I would like to watch this show when it comes out, and I don't know how much of it I'll be able to watch if it's just like week to week episode.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like again, if it was presented as like a mini series, I'd be like, okay, cool, I can binge this or like watch it week to week when it comes out or whatever, and I'm actually down for that. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna watch fucking 20 episodes or
I don't think
something.
it would be 20 episodes. Like
Maybe
I don't
10 or
like
12.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
even that though.
I think we're well past the 20 episode series, like 20 episode
Yeah.
season.
For not like daytime TV, anything that's still on cable, like I feel like we'll do that. But yeah, for streaming, no, you're not gonna get that on streaming.
1000% no. Speaking of daytime TV, before we move on to like our movies and stuff like that, I did want to point out we did have some like some big movie or like just TV show related awards shows.
Oh yeah,
that
that's
happened.
right. Yeah.
And I do want to shine a light on Quinta Brunson for winning for I think she won Best Lead Actress in a Comedy Series. And she is only the second Black woman to win that award. So shouts out to her.
Congratulations.
Because she is definitely like the next great like writer in TV. Because like when you watch that show, like it's so good.
What show is it for?
Abbott Elementary.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like I think when all is said and done, like obviously it's gonna get comparisons to like fucking The Office and stuff like that because it's literally the same style of show.
Yeah.
And I honestly, like, I think when all is said and done, it's going to be better than The Office 1000%. Like, it's so funny. And I think it does everything The Office does while also being a show that shines a light on, like, what it's like being a teacher in public school, what it's like being a teacher in a public school and, like, for minority kids and stuff like that, you know? Like, it is very centered around, like, the Black experience like in Philadelphia and also like being a teacher in a public school where you're not getting a lot of funding and stuff like that and what you have to do in the day-to-day to provide the most for your students, especially a lot of students that may not come from like, you know, maybe they come from like lower income families and stuff like that, you know? So like it's hilarious and it also does like a lot of serious things and it does them well. Yeah. And Quinta Brunson being the writer producer for that shit, I think just shows her talent as a writer, and she's just gonna be a force in the just movie television space for a long time.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I'm glad she's getting recognition. I think that's cool. I never give a shit about award shows anymore, though. Honestly,
nah.
Like they're so like, you know, Abbott Elementary is probably gonna win for writing. Homeboy won for The Bear because of course he did. Like, what's his name? Cillian Murphy won because of course he did. Like, it's so shoehorned in now and stuff where like those stories are good because then sorry, not actors, but like artists, especially when it comes to like writers or like directors or like people who are more behind the scenes who are not like big like faces and stuff get recognition. I think that's cool. But otherwise, it's like, it's just pageantry, dude. Like, it's just getting a bunch of rich folks in a room for a night to be like, you know, all your favorite movies this year? You were right. Those were all of the best ones.
That's true. But I also think, like, it's very important that people like Quinta Brunson get their recognition in those shows because it's like, how often, like, do those award shows pass up stories like or pass up people like that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they certainly
it's great
to, yeah.
I like that she is in the position that she is for that show and that show being one of the best shows because it's like now they have no other choice but to give her that award, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like, you know, I don't know, they could always come up with excuses of why she didn't like get the award and stuff like that, and that shit's always happened, whether that's like TV or like even music, like for like when Kendrick Lamar lost like rap album of the year to fucking Macklemore, and it's just like you listen to Good Kid, Mad City, and you listen to Heist, and they're completely like
totally different.
Yeah. But like even like another one I wanted to touch on was from The Bear, Ayo Edebiri. She won not only an Emmy, she won a Golden Globe and a Critics' Choice Award all in the same week.
Hell yeah!
And I think she's like the first person to do that and shit like that. And like again, she is another one that is going to be like a really strong presence within the TV and movie space for a long time. And like I'm glad she's getting recognition because she's great in The Bear. She's freaking phenomenal in like everything else. She's in Abbott Elementary. She's fucking hilarious in that. And she even has she did her movie Bottoms, which I haven't watched, but I've heard is really fucking good. So I'm just, I'm glad that these two young and shining black women are getting their shine as they should, with something like with a profession that is so dominated by white people and also like white males. Like, for them to be two strong black females getting these awards, I think is fantastic.
I hope that continues throughout like the rest of like not just the year, but like the coming years that they're doing stuff. Because like that's the other thing too, is like I think that's why it bothers me. It's like it's so easy to like make that a big name and a big statement, and I'm sure you will probably see a bunch of people congratulating them online, but like in another 2 years there's probably a large chunk of that population who you'll be like, oh yeah, I had a beery, and they'll be like, who? Like it's like you got to continue that support and like make sure that you're tuning in like because you like the shit and because you actually appreciate what they're doing, not just because they won like a Golden Globe or whatever, I think that's why I don't like the award shows. It's like it is important for them to get their shine and stuff, but like there's such these like they almost feel like them meaning like the whiteys, right? Like doing their fucking the whites, bro. Yeah. Like it's like, oh, we did our due diligence this year. We presented our awards to all of our people of color. Yeah. We're not going to talk about it at all for the rest of the year, and it's still going to focus on our shit. But we did it right there. See, that was our thing or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
And I just don't want it to be that. Yeah. That's all, Like
it's a weird. The awards are like a double-edged sword. Yeah, it's tough because like on one hand, like do they matter? They fucking don't. Like they really really don't. But it's nice when people like Quinta and Iota are getting this recognition, because it wasn't all that long ago that black people weren't getting recognition like at all, and shit like that. So it's again, it's a double-edged sword. It's important, but it like you were saying, like it could easily be like, oh, we did our thing, cool, we're not going to do it again.
That's one of the things where I'm full 100% in support of like, let's do something new. Come up with a new award show that is not led by like these Illuminati-esque guilds and academies that like decide stuff from above and shit,
Exactly.
Like, let the people choose, or like whatever.
Let the people choose.
Let the people choose. Give me a Nickelodeon's Kid Choice Award, bro. Like that's a real fucking win right there.
let the kids vote.
Yeah, if the kids are down for you, bro, that's how you know you've made it, dude. Because they don't know shit, and if they like you, you're doing something right.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm so ready for Abbott Elementary season 3. I think that's coming out pretty soon. I think within the next month or so. I think like February something is when it's coming out.
That makes sense. I feel like shows like that usually start up like in the earlier parts of the year and take their mid-season break and then come back for like the Christmas shit and the holiday stuff.
Yeah, I think it ended early the last season because of like the writer strike and the actors
that makes sense
strike and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but hell yeah. And then The Bear, obviously season 2 just ended, so I'm gonna be waiting for season 3. That shit won hella Emmys. Like it won like best comedy series and shit like that.
What's his name won, right?
Jeremy Allen White. Yep. Yeah. And then fucking Eben Moss fucking won for like best supporting actor as well. He plays his cousin.
Oh yeah, okay.
Fuck, what's his name? God damn it. I love the show and I can't fucking remember his name. But yeah, I think The Bear won like 6 Emmys or something like that.
That makes sense.
Went pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I still hate that it's like under comedy series, because it's not a comedy. But the only reason why it's under the comedy series is because it's not an hour. Their episodes aren't an hour long.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit's so fucking stupid.
That's what I'm saying, man. The award shows are fucking dumb.
That shit doesn't make sense.
No,
at
it
all.
Doesn't matter. It's not hard to just be like, oh, it's not under the curfew. Well,
you
it's
can
not
write,
a comedy.
Like that sucks that like you can write the saddest, most dramatic series.
But if it's not an hour long.
It's
not a drama.
We don't consider it a drama. It's not. Drama's got to be an hour long.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And I'm not gonna sit down and watch Succession. I don't care. I'm not gonna fucking sit down and watch that shit.
It's probably really good.
I've heard it's super good.
Yeah, I'm telling you, look, I guarantee you that in like 10 years, like we're gonna be 30-something-year-olds, hopefully on like episode 4,027,000,027.
Yeah.
And you're going to have the same reaction to Succession that it was that you're talking about right now with fucking Sopranos.
So my thing with Succession is different. Succession is literally just about rich white people doing rich white people shit, and I just don't want to sit down and watch that.
Yeah, but I think from what I've understood from people who have told me that they like it is that it's not just rich white people doing rich white people shit for the sake of it. It's them actually like diving into how evil and terrible they are. Like, it's not about like glorifying it. It's like everybody on that show is a piece of shit, and they're showing horrible white power for what it is, which is like, if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. But that's the majority of the greatest shows of all time, because like we were just talking about, like, people of color are only just recently getting their recognition for stuff. So like all of the greatest stuff that we consider the greatest of all time has been like white people in their troubles, you know? So I get it why it's up there, but it's just a little bit of like, weirdly enough, it's like an outlier for maybe like our generation of like, I don't want to watch that shit anymore or whatever it might be, you know?
Yeah,
but I've heard it's good. I've heard it's really good.
I've heard it's good too. I just like, there's just like the clip that always plays in my head of like one of the characters being like, but I'm the head boy, or like something like that. Yeah. And he's just like, I'm the oldest boy. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know about that one, man. But maybe I'll probably give it a try, but I just like, fuck. I just can't, bro. I just can't. Like that. If it is, like you're saying, if it is like showing how evil they can be, like rich, powerful people can be, then okay, I can get behind that. But I don't know. It's going to be a tough one for me to fucking... Because it's like, what, 9 seasons too? Something like that?
No. This show just started. Succession? Really? Yeah, I think there's only like 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it like just started. I think it's pretty new still. I don't think they've been around that long.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
We'll
see.
I've heard. I like a lot of the actors in it. Like, I like them in other stuff. Kieran Culkin is awesome. I can't remember his name, but there's like another dude who's really familiar to me. The old guy who plays like the dad. Love him in like everything I've ever seen him in. Yeah. So I'm not totally adverse to it, but like, yeah, I don't know. In general, that's just not my genre. I don't like dramas to begin with, you know.
No, I'm a drama guy.
Yeah. That's good. Man. That's good. We need a little bit of both, you know.
I'm a drama man.
I'm a drama man. Dramamine.
Drama.
I'm a Dramamine.
What the fuck is that?
Dramamine?
Yeah.
It's like motion sickness medicine. You like take a pill if you like get car sick or like airplane sick or shit like that. Yeah. They have drowsy kind, so if you want to just pass the fuck out on your airplane ride or whatever, you totally can.
Interesting. I can't fall asleep on a plane.
I've done it before, but it is kind of hard. Yeah. But my sister has like really bad motion sickness. So like that's why I've been around it. Okay. Yeah, in my life.
Yeah, I know
about that Dramamine life. I've been exposed to it through my sister.
God damn it.
Over the counter drug, bro.
Over the counter, man.
No, I think you can get it off the rack, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Just straight up in aisle 6 or what?
It's probably, bro. It's like I said, it's just for motion sickness. That's it.
Oh god, yeah. I don't know why that's so funny.
You're like really sick because of motion and you can't take time to swallow the pill, so you're so addicted you crush it up and snort it.
Where's my Dramamine, man?
Need my Dramamine, dude.
Oh, I think you got a problem. You're not even moving right now, man. I need it,
bro. I'm always moving in my mind.
My mind's racing, man. Yeah. I need that shit, bro.
Give me my Dramamine. Where's my fucking stash, man?
I'm sick, man. Can't you see?
I love it. That is a funny skit, actually. Like somebody getting addicted to like a really mundane drug that does nothing to you, really. Yeah. But have like fiending for that shit.
Yeah. Someone getting addicted to a placebo.
Yeah, like allergy pills or something.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand. You don't understand, bro. Be crazy.
My nose is so stuffy. Yeah. I can hear your nose. It's not stuffy at all. It's fucking stuffy, man.
It's like in the middle of a ranch. It's like, you just don't get it. It's not the same thing. Oh, fuck. See, here we fucking go, man.
God damn.
Yeah. But anyways, lots of ranting, lots of funnies. Should we hop into our main course of the night?
I'm down to hop. I'm down to hop in.
Our feel good and feel bad sports movies of the night.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
One is just like so inspiring and uplifting, and the other one is just like very difficult to watch, honestly.
It's just so sad.
So sad, dude.
That's crazy. Shit. Like, I was watching it, and like towards the end, I was like, damn, Diggs came and watched this fucking twice.
Yeah. I could see wanting to see it twice, because like it is like a little bit of an overwhelming movie the first time you watch it, I think. It's like, holy shit. Like everything when it hits, it just washes over very hard.
Dude, it was crazy. So should we start with?
I'm
the
down
Iron
because
Claw?
then we can end on like a higher. note,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, guys,
The Iron Claw.
the Iron Claw, which documents a story about the Von Erich family, probably the most famous family in wrestling.
Yeah.
Starting with their dad, Fitz. Is that his freaking name?
I don't remember. Let me pull up the cast list. Fitz Von Erich, eh?
Yeah,
The fucking Von Erich.
he was the
man.
original wrestler of the family. Had his famous move, the Iron Claw. Then he had a family of, I think, what was it? 5 kids. One of the kids is not present
in the movie. 6 actually, right? Because
the other
6 brother who died when they were younger.
Yes, and he basically turns them into a wrestling family. Fritz.
Yeah, Fritz.
I was close.
Yeah, you were.
I was just off a letter.
That's perfect.
And yeah, he basically forces his failed dream upon his children, and coaches them through wrestling. And yeah, it is a very tragic story because a lot of just not great things happen to a lot of the characters, which we will get into.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it was a fantastic movie, and I was absolutely blown away by how great of a fucking movie it was. Yeah,
really great acting the whole time. I think like pretty good writing. Like everything felt natural, and like the characters were super, super charming. You like, I think, develop like a certain love for like, I would say even the entirety of the Von Erich family. There's like a couple of times where even I was like, damn, all right, this dad could not be an asshole, but he is just being an asshole. Like, so it, he's still the villain, I think, of the entire movie. But you really feel for like each and every one of the sons for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And like, you don't want anything to happen to them in the entire movie. They're just telling you like, well, bad things are going to keep happening to these characters that you love. Like, sorry guys, these boys are going to go through hell. It's pretty intense, but it's honestly, before any of the tragedy even starts to like befall them, I think they live a pretty fucked up life as it is. Like in like the very like first like 15 to 20 minutes of the movie or whatever, like the dad just like straight up at breakfast is like, you know what the order is, like Carrie's my favorite, then Dave, then you, or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Carrie,
like,
then Kevin, then Dave, then Mike.
Just like fucking straight up telling his sons like, you're my least favorite, you're my third, you're my second, and the one who's not even here is my first.
He's like, hey, but the order can change. You guys can change the order.
Ridiculous. Like already so toxic and terrible. Just like awful fatherhood right there, bro. Like terrible parenting. But
yeah.
So like it's already like kind of tragic, right? Like you can tell like mentally and like subconsciously they're already fucked up kids.
Oh yeah.
Like they're dealing with
100%.
all kinds of shit. Yeah. But then like again, you start to kind of feel, I think for like Zac Efron the most, like obviously because he's like the main character. He's Kevin, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Kevin Von Erich. Obviously because he's the main character, but I think the like real heart and like companionship and like brotherhood that he has with the rest of his brothers is like really sold to me through him.
Oh, 100%.
Like everybody does a fantastic job of like adding on to that, but like without him and like that first part that he has when he's talking to Lily James, I can't remember what her character's name is in the movie, but
Pam?
Pam, yeah. Is it Pam? No fucking way.
Yeah, the girl that he marries?
That her name is Pam?
Yeah.
In the movie?
Yeah.
You're fucking kidding me. She plays Pam Anderson in fucking Pam and Tommy too, bro. No way. Really? Her name is Pam?
Her name's
That's
Pam.
hilarious. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry. That cracks me up. That's fucking funny. Like from that first conversation that he's having with her when she's like asking him, because like she can tell pretty early, like, oh, this dad's fucking crazy. Like he's forcing them to do shit that like maybe these kids don't want to do.
Oh yeah.
And she asks him like, what do you want? And he's like, well, I just want to be with my brothers.
Yeah.
Like doing what? And he's like, I don't know, I don't care, I just want to be with them. Like whenever we're together, like we can do whatever, like we're unstoppable or whatever it is.
Have a ranch and freaking,
yeah,
all my brothers can come and live on the ranch and stuff like that.
All the family comes there, families come and live there, whatever.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, he just wants to literally be with his bros, with his brothers and shit. And like life just had other plans in store, man. It's pretty crazy.
Well, it's not even that like life had other plans. His fucking dad had other plans.
Yeah.
And like, because, okay, so you didn't watch the very beginning of the movie. Okay, so the movie opens up so fucking crazy and like so good. It's literally like an up close, like from down below, like a shot of like the dad when
is it the same actor?
Yeah,
okay.
when he's wrestling, right? And he's just like just like super intense, like kicking the shit out of like someone like in the ring, and it's just like this harrowing freaking music that's like in the background. Like can't even really like explain it other than like it's harrowing and it's dark, and it's like not like, you know, not like uplifting or anything like that. Like not inspirational, not something you would think you would get from like something like that.
Like
it's
a
like
a traditional feel good sports movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of off-putting. You're just kind of like, oh shit, this is kind of fucked up. And it's like that for a couple of minutes, and then like it goes out, and it's just like the crowd cheering and all that shit. And he like pulls out his famous move, like the Iron Claw. Like you see David do that later, but like his dad does it, blah blah blah. And like he wins, and like the beginning's in black and white too. Like it's not in color. Cool. It's in black and white.
Hell yeah, that's cool.
And then he goes and he's just like in the shower, not in the shower. He's like in the dressing room, and he's kind of just like sitting there. And then he goes outside, and that's when you meet his kids, which is, I don't know if they say the names, but at that time it is Kevin and it is David at that time. Okay. And so they go, like they're with the mom, they meet up with them, and then they're walking back to the car, and then they notice like the mom notices that the car, so they have their car, and then they have their trailer, like they live in like a mobile home in the back. And the mom notices that a new car is attached to the mobile home. The mom's like tripping out, like, what the fuck? Like, there's this new car. Like, we can't afford a new car. And Fritz is like, I know what it looks like, but so-and-so told me that, like, you know, if I want to be a star, like, I got to look the part. So, like, I rented this car. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it's fine. Like, and the wife's just like, I don't even want to know how much it's going to cost. And, like, they get in the car, and then she's like, how much is it going to cost? Yeah. And then he's just like, don't worry about it. Like, it's going to be fine. And then they start like getting into an argument about like, we don't have this fucking money. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. And then he gets into his famous quote, like that Zac Efron quotes in the movie, like, as long as we're strong, blah, blah, blah. And all this, like, we'll be fine. Like, we don't need to rely on anyone. Like, these kids are going to grow up. They're not going to have to rely on anyone, blah, 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 all that stuff. And then it gets into like the future. Okay. Yeah. And all that. But the beginning was so intense, and it's so like you could just see like, okay, this dad is fucked up. Yeah, like definitely. He does not have like the right view on how to make it. Granted, it's like, I'm pretty sure it's probably like later 50s, maybe earlier 60s, because like Kevin is only, I think, like probably like 5 or 6 at the time or something like that.
And he's like, what, in like his early 20s when they get to the...
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, maybe in his 20s or something like that.
Yeah, and you're just like, holy shit, like, this dad fucking sucks. Yeah. Like, this home life probably fucking sucks ass. Like, you know, like they're just on the road all the time. Yeah. Like, it's not fucking great at all.
No, yeah, it's pretty intense, but they do have like a little bit of like a safe haven for a while, because like, you know, you start to get introduced to like the various characters at home and whatnot, and like for a long time, like maybe like the first 30 minutes or so, maybe even a little longer, they keep is it Carrie? Is that Jeremy Allen?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, Carrie.
He's out of the picture for a while. You see him in like pictures around the house and whatnot and stuff, but like the first like tragedy in, like, I would say this is like the kickoff point for like all the rest of the terrible shit that happens over the course of the movie, is Carrie is going to be like an Olympic athlete in like disc throwing or something like that. I think discus, yeah. But then war shit is going on at the time. I can't remember if it's like Vietnam or like after that, I think, because it's like the 70s, right?
It might be
Cold War shit.
Like Russia? It might be Cold War type shit. Yeah, because they're not gonna go to Russia for the freaking for the Olympics, so it's like Cold War type shit.
Yeah, so like America is like, our boys are not going to the Olympics this year, and so like, you know, his dreams are crushed or whatever. Which like, granted, does suck. Like, that's a fucking hardcore bummer to train all your life to become like an Olympic athlete, and then
he's getting away from this family too.
And then because of like politics and war and bullshit, like it gets taken away from you and you have no choice but to go back home. Like, that shit is fucked up. But he finally comes back into the picture, and like it is kind of awkward and tense at first, because like he says hi to his mom and he says hi to his dad, and it's like weird, you know, and he like apologizes to his dad, even though it's very obviously not his fault. He's like, I'm sorry, I let you down, Pop. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, kid. Like,
they do such a good job at like the writing of like how they view his dad, and like how his dad is like literally more like an army fucking general and
Yeah.
not like his dad. It's
He's
always like
he's just in coach mode all
yeah,
of the time.
it's always like yes sir,
Yeah.
no sir,
Mhm.
sorry pop, sorry this didn't
Yeah.
work out.
Yeah.
And instead of his dad being just like what are you talking about? Like sorry, like don't even worry about it. Like it's all good. Like it's shit you can't control. He's just like like whatever.
You do better
like,
next time.
Yeah, you do better next time. It's all good. Like, and it's just
Yeah.
like, dude, okay, that's like,
It's crazy too, cause like, so he comes back and they like, have the brotherly reunion, which is great and stuff. But they're like out there like working one day, and like Fritz just walks up to him and he's like, "Carrie, come here, boy." He's like, "I've decided you're gonna be wrestling with your brothers now,"
Yeah.
and it's like,
you gotta figure out something to do with your life.
Yeah, it's like, oh, all right, cool. You just decided that, and like again, still they're so brainwashed and fucked up that like Carrie and the rest of the boys are like, "Thank you, Paul. This is so exciting. Like, this is great. Like, holy shit."
Well, because that's also after, because before Carrie gets there, Kevin gets set up with the NWA champion of the world champion of wrestling, and he's gonna wrestle him, which he does in an exhibition match. And the idea is that Kevin's supposed to like put a whooping on him, and so that he'll be the number one contender to be like the world champion. And that's like what his dad's entire goal was for his entire life, was to be a world champion wrestler. And that didn't work out for him, so now he's trying to make his kids world champion wrestlers, right? And when they have this match, basically he gets thrown out of the ring by this other guy. I forgot what his fucking name was.
Fucking slammed onto his back, like
Slam-
on the concrete.
on the
bro.
concrete.
On the ground, yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, like that's crazy.
Like, all the air got knocked out of him and shit. Probably fucked up his back.
Yeah, and so he quote unquote wins, right? Or like puts a whooping on him, but not really. Like he really doesn't until like David comes in and like helps him out, and then David does his thing on the mic, which was which was really good, because we learned that Kevin's not so good at fucking talking.
No,
like,
it's hilarious.
It's so fucking funny.
So good, yeah.
But then when like they're in the locker room, his dad's just like, "Yo, what the fuck was that?"
It's fucked up. He walks up and he's like, "Took a little long to get up off the floor there, son."
Yeah.
And then he's like over to David and he's like, "You did a great job though. Like,
yeah, David,
you're fantastic.
You rock, David."
Yeah, it's like, God, what a fucking piece of shit, dude. He's
so
terrible.
So then they're at dinner, like when Carrie comes back, like they're all eating out there.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, when you gonna get your title shot? Blah 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 blah. Like when you gonna wrestle him next?" And they're like, "Oh," like the dad's like, "Oh, we're working on it." And then you see later that Ric Flair actually fights for the championship.
Oh yeah.
And they never call Kevin back. Yeah. And then so the next day when they're all working, that's when he comes out and he's like, "Gary, you're gonna be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna like if they're not gonna give us our shot, like
we're gonna take it."
Yeah, it's gonna be like strength in numbers, like type of shit. So he's just like just brainwashed. Like he just fucking ridiculous. And Carrie's like very much that brother that is like searching for his dad's approval.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Like he's like when he gives him like the gun at the end, like he wants him to shoot it because he wants to see like his dad be happy, and like his dad's never happy for him until like he actually like wins the world championship, like and shit like that.
And even then it's like short lived too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but they all start fighting together. Sick ass montage. It's dope because like I think you had mentioned the fourth brother in this movie. It's Mike. I was gonna say Mark. Yeah,
the youngest brother.
Yeah, he's like a musician, right? And so he's like, listening to music that like their parents wouldn't want them to listen to, and he puts on fucking what's it called? It's by like Starship. Jefferson Starship, I think. I can't remember what it's called, but the
oh, dude, yeah, that shit's so sick.
That song, right? And it's just like such an epic ass montage because like they're all like working out in their own like section and stuff, and then like Mike puts the record on and all of them like stop and they like slow look at the fucking house and shit, and then they're like, "That's the song we're gonna fucking walk out to as brother wrestlers," and then it's a like I don't even fuck with wrestling that hard, but I was like, damn, this shit's badass, dude. Bro. I was like, holy shit, dude.
The music in this was really fucking good. The score in this was super good.
Yeah, tons of good shit. But you get a montage of them like all doing really well. They get like a lot of buzz. They like kind of start to make their way up towards like getting a shot again, right? And then like out of nowhere, at like the end of a match, all of a sudden, the dad is like, "Listen, boys, like we got a chance at this again. David, it's your turn to take on the fucking shit," or whatever. Like, just doesn't even say a fucking word.
Well, yeah, they win the world championship for like the 6-man, like the tag team or whatever.
Yeah.
So they did bring a world championship, but they never had like a solo like championship.
Yeah.
And like fucking the dad gives like this, honestly, like such a crazy like epic speech that he gives, right?
Yeah.
Like I forget the actor's name. It's like Colt something. The one that plays the dad. He was in Mindhunter, and he's been in a lot of other shit. But
yeah, Holt McCallany.
Yeah.
Or McCallany.
Holt McCallany, yeah. He like that speech he gives was fucking crazy. Like that was so good, dude. Like I was like,
I have to say, as much of an asshole and a piece of shit as he is, he's a great actor,
dude. That shit
really
pumped. That shit like pumped me the fuck up. Like as as fucked up as it was, like towards the end when he's just like, he basically like ranks.
Oh yeah, because he does it on stage.
He like he does it without like actually being like, this is my number one and blah 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 blah. He's like David's gonna fucking win the championship, and then Kevin, and then fucking and then Carrie, and
see
then
them like looking at each other in the back, like what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, David's like tripping out. He's like, I didn't really like want to do this. Like, I'm just kind of good at this. But that speech was fucking nuts, because another thing that I like about this movie is like the camera work on this was ridiculous. Like it was so fucking good. Like there's a lot of like slow pan outs, slow pan ins, and like really good camera angles that make you feel like a fly on the wall. Like a lot of camera angles that'll be like from the top down, and you're looking through like a small portion, and you see everyone else moving in the background, but it's like really focused on your two characters that are like talking in the scene. Really fucking good. Where was I fucking going with this? I don't know where I was fucking going with this. Oh yeah, the speech. It's like, it's so good because it starts out really wide, and he's like giving this intense speech, and it like slowly starts to tighten up, and you're like, oh,
it
this
feels
is
more
fucking
intense.
great. Like this is fucking sick. And it was like, there was a lot of things like that. Like there was that speech. There was like the speech at the end, like when Ric Flair is talking to the fucking to the camera. That shit was fucking.
That was hardcore,
dude. I was ready to fucking run through a fucking wall at the end of that shit. Because at the beginning of that speech, like not to get too far ahead, but like Ric Flair has a very big personality. Yeah. And like going into his interview, I was like, okay, I don't know if like this actor is really gonna like pull it off. Yeah. And he starts out kind of slow, but then when he like really gets into it and he's like talking his shit, he like is, oh dude, like that one is. Oh,
I hated him, bro.
Dude, I loved
to watch him, but I hated him.
I hated him like, too, but it was
like, I hope you die.
Yeah, because it's like, damn, like as he's talking about like to be a man, blah 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 blah, all this shit, and he's getting intense, and like I was just sitting there like, damn, you really don't know what this fucking character's been through. But it's like this speech, and it's also intercut with like Zac Efron like training for like the fight and shit like that, and I was like, dude, I'm ready to fucking run through a wall right now. Like that shit was so good.
I do have to say, so like, because like I said, wrestling is not really my thing, but I was pretty pumped up during like a lot of the scenes and stuff. But the one caveat I have to give, especially because it's the name of the movie, I think the Iron Claw. It's pretty fucking dumb.
Yeah,
I think the move itself is pretty stupid.
Oh, it's hella dumb.
Not my favorite.
It's hella dumb.
Like just fucking grabbing the dude on the face or whatever. Like I get it, I understand, but I'm also like, just punch him in the balls, bro. Or like I get that's not part of it or whatever, you know. But it's like, yeah, that's not my favorite part of it. It's like some Mortal Kombat shit, but without the like Mortal Kombat funniness of it.
I'm like, what does the crowd think is happening right now?
He's just grabbing his face.
And he's just
really
pushing
hard.
He's just pushing it into the ground.
I'm sure it would hurt, like from somebody really strong. Like they're squeezing the fuck out of your head, you know. But like, yeah, not my favorite move. But those scenes do get fucking hypey, bro. Like a hypey, and they're like super fucking fun to watch. And like I heard that Diggs was telling me that like I guess on set they really had like a trainer who like trained like wrestlers and stuff like that too. And like apparently Zac Efron was like actually pretty close to being able to like participate in like the 20-minute long matches that they do and shit like that. Like I don't know about the rest of the actors, but he like apparently went like full commitment with it and stuff.
Dude,
like,
that fool's fucking jacked,
and
bro.
Like I don't know how often they're switching out stunt people and stuff, but like at times it really looked like he was out there fucking flying around the ring and shit, bro. So like I had to give praise because that's like he really got down for that shit. Like, dude, they went hard.
He was fucking ripped.
He's
bro.
huge. He looks scary. Like
it's ridiculous.
It's very frightening.
Like there's a part where he's like I think it's in the beginning, like he's trying to wake up David to go running, and it's literally just you see like just his midsection, And he's like not flexing or anything. He's just breathing, and it's just like chiseled abs. And I'm like, dude,
he's scary.
What the fuck?
No, he's for sure.
Is this
scary.
dude human, bro?
No, probably not, man. It's fucking Troy Bolton, bro.
It's fucking steroids, dude.
It could be.
Probably. I don't know.
I mean, that's that's in the movie as well, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking what happens to David, right?
Mm-hmm. He was taking steroids and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that happens. David gets like promoted, I guess, in terms of like Fritz's order of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin starts to like reevaluate a little bit, I think, and then he like decides to get married to Pam, right? Mm-hmm. And then the hints and then pretty immediate follow-up of like the second tragedy start to come, because like it's very sweet, it's super cute, there's a lot of heartwarming moments at the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
For like all of the characters, I think, right? They all get like a moment to like be happy for a second. But then Kevin goes to the bathroom and sees David in there, and he's like fucking puking up a bloody ass storm in the fucking stall in there. And like, fuck, it's crazy, bro. It's hard because of the way they were raised, I think they don't even have like the emotional capacity to like deal with something like that the way they should.
Yeah.
Because like, fuck, I don't know, bro. Like if not even my brother, like if I mean, fuck, I don't know. You and I are very close. But, like, if I just saw you even spit a little bit of blood out, I'd be like, we're going to the hospital right now.
Yeah.
Bro. What the fuck?
You'd be like, you have no... Same. I was like... I was like, why is he just, like, letting him brush off the fact that this toilet is full of blood? Dude. That's coming out of his mouth.
He's like, I'm good, man. It's all right. Like,
I just caught a bug.
I'm like, what the fuck kind of bug makes you puke up blood, bro?
And Kevin's just like...
For sure, brother.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, dude.
I mean, granted... It is the 70s still, I guess, right? Like late 70s, maybe early 80s. So I guess you could make the excuse that, like, you know, maybe there wasn't the same kind of like medical awareness for stuff that there is now and shit. But like, that's pretty frightening. Like if you walked up on anybody somewhat close to you, like that much blood on a toilet, dude, like I'd be like, hey, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like,
like you're saying, they just don't have the emotional capacity to be like, their parents haven't fucking taught them. Like, hey, this is like.
Well, because the whole thing is like, if he's like, because Kevin does try, right? Throughout the whole movie, he tries more and more until like he reaches a breaking point when literally he just like loses all of his brothers, right? But like. He tries. He's like, hey man, I don't think you should go to Japan, because like that's where his next big like world tournament thing is, right? He's got to go across the country and shit, or across the seas and shit. And he's like, hey man, I don't think you should go. And like, even on that first attempt, like he realizes like this is not us. Like what the fuck? Because they both start cracking up. They're like, haha, holy shit, yeah, of course not. Like I have to go, blah 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 blah. And he's like. Then he kind of brushes it off or whatever and whatnot, and tells him that like he's gonna have a baby, right? And he gets all excited and shit. And then they sort of just like cut, like I mean they show like another sweet moment again afterwards, right? Where like they're all doing like a lane dance, and then it kind of lingers on David for a little bit longer.
I thought he was gonna like pass out then, and, like, die there.
Yeah, and then but then you get like the news. They cut pretty quickly. I think it's like immediately after, where like. Kevin comes home, right? And like the dad tells him Fritz is like, your brother David is dead. And like even in that moment, he's like, I will say this is it's like I didn't see the intro, so I don't know how much more context this would have provided, but like I would have liked to see a little bit more of a reason why Fritz is the way he is, because like he very obviously is not equipped emotionally to deal with the kind of things that he's been through in his life either. Like his son dies. And the way he tells his kid is literally like, David's dead. Time to figure out what the fuck we're going to do next, boys. Like, I think you're going to be the next one up, blah, blah, blah. Like, when they're all sitting there waiting to go and shit, like, he's not sitting there trying to comfort them or anything like that. He's like, you need to put on a strong face. Like, don't fucking cry. Like, when we get out of this, we're going to have to work 10 times harder to put the Von Erich name back out there and shit like that. And it's like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Like,
I think he's just probably more of a product of, like, the times that he grew up in the sense of, like, you know, men didn't talk about feelings or like shit like that. Like it's just we work and we got to figure out the next thing to fucking do, blah blah blah. So it's like, you know, he doesn't have the emotional capacity to teach his son how to grieve properly and like how to talk to them and like, you know, like actually figure out what they want to do in their life rather than fucking impose his own failed vision of his life that he had onto them, right? And to me, that's the most prevalent with like with Mike, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because when they're all at dinner and shit like that, when Carrie first comes back, Mike
tells him about the show, right?
Yeah, Mike tells him about the music and stuff like that, and he's like Mike's telling Pam about how he like does like plays all these like different instruments and shit like that. And their mom was like, "Oh, just like your dad used to fucking your dad used to be like that. Like your dad was classically trained in all this shit." And the dad's like, "Huh, yeah." And then I just realized there wasn't going to be work in music, so I just did something else. So I played football. And, like, the mom was like, yeah, this fool had, like, a full scholarship to this college for music and shit like that.
Yeah.
And, like, to me, like, that shows more of why shit went bad in their family versus, like, there's this curse. Like, yeah, there may be a fucking curse, but I think a lot of it is, like, there's a lot of bad decisions being made.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
By the dad.
Yeah.
And also just a lot of things not being taught to his son so they can properly deal with a lot of the shit that they fucking go through.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because it's like they all just kind of want to make their fucking dad happy. And in doing so, in trying to do so, like, they're not happy themselves because they're not doing shit that's making them fulfilled. They're just doing shit because their dad fucking wants them to. And that's all they fucking know how to do.
Yeah, like literally pushing themselves so hard that they fucking die. Like, that's like straight up what happens with David. Like, that's pretty much what happens with Carrie, too.
Yeah, Carrie loses a fucking foot.
Yeah.
And then is trying to come back and wrestle.
Because he ends up winning, right? And he does finally bring, like, the world championship home or whatever. Like, it's like, the title's finally in our family. It's all thanks to you, Carrie, and, like, all that bullshit or whatever.
Yeah.
But the celebrations are over, and like I think Carrie starts to like kind of have that realization of like, fuck, like what the fuck am I even doing this for? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, this doesn't matter to me as much as it does to Dad or whatever. He's not saying that, but it's like he's such a good actor. It's just on his face. And like goes out for the bike ride, clearly drunk as fuck or buzzed as fuck. I don't know, whatever. And again, like. Yeah, I feel like it's just again, it could be different time, could be like the lack of the emotional capacity and whatnot, but like Kevin clearly sees his brother is like drunk and he's like concerned and he's like, hey man, you should take it easy, like be careful. But then just walks out and is like, I'm gonna go. And like
I think it's just different times. I think that I chalk up more to like different times because like not drinking and driving is a fairly like recent thing. You know?
Well,
it's not like super old.
I think it's also,
but it's not super new.
But I also think it has to do as well with like the masculinity built up in their family as well too, because like they're so like bro-y and like guy-y and stuff that they're not going to be like, hey man, I think you should take it easy. It's like, nah, my brother can handle his liquor. Like, kind of vibe. Like, and so, but again, he's still clearly concerned. Like, there's hints, there's like cracks in like the glass that is Kevin of like. The underneath like part, like he's the one who tries to push out the most, I think, over the course of the movie, 100%. Right? Which is like probably the only reason why he's the only brother to survive, right? Is like he was actually trying at different points and at different times in the way that he could to like break out from underneath his father's shadow. And he goes out. I thought he was gonna die. I was surprised by that, honestly, because like in the trailers they make it seem like they show it very obviously, and I think it was actually smart marketing because like they show it and they really make it seem in the trailer for the movie like Carrie dies on that motorcycle accident. And I'm sure if you're like a longtime wrestling fan and you like know the history of the Von Erichs, then like you saw it coming, obviously. But I didn't know that shit, so
I did not know.
I thought he was gonna die in the car accident and shit. So I was shocked to see him. And, like, he's kind of, like, you know, hobbling around and stuff. But they do, like, a really good, long, like, slow reveal where he's very clearly hurt. He's walking around on crutches and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, damn, he got fucked up. He's got, like, scars on his back and shit. But you see him get up out of bed, like, walk through his house, check on a couple things and stuff. And it's not till he, like, gets into the kitchen and, like, walks through that, like, you see he's missing his foot. And you're like, holy shit, son of a bitch. Like, yeah, he's fucked. Like... He's not going to be able to do shit anymore. And his dad is going to, like, probably resent him for it for some crazy fucking reason. And then this is not going to go well for him. Like, yeah. So, pretty clearly the dominoes get set up for, like, what ends up happening. But before you get to all that, he does kind of try. And then you get to, like, the Mike stuff, right? Where, like, Fritz is, like, at this point, I think, pretty done with Kevin. Like, I think he sort of sees him as, like, having had his chance already. And he's decided to settle down and he has kids now and stuff like that. So, like, it's not going to be for him anymore. And then Carrie was like his next best bet after David died. But then obviously right after, he fucking got the victory and shit. So like he defaults to the last son he has left, which is like also crazy fucking shit. Cause like he's, you know, fucking terrible, but I guess good on the poor fucking sensitive boy for trying, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty bad, but like it's clearly not meant for him. Right?
No.
Like even Zac Efron does a great job in that scene where like he's kind of trying to be his dad a little bit for his brother, but like he doesn't want to expose his little brother to like how terrible his dad actually is. So he's like, I'm going to put you through this shit because I know that you trust me, but like I'm not going to let dad do this to you or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he tries. He like puts on like the coach face and stuff and is like talking shit to him or whatever and like telling him like, get up, you got to be better. And then he gets into like his first fucking fight, dislocates his shoulder, and ends up at the hospital, right? And then what was supposed to be like a routine like surgery to get him back to business goes terribly wrong, and the fool ends up in a fucking coma.
Yeah, has 107-degree fever for like 2 hours. They said,
and just I thought he was gonna die. Like I thought they were just gonna straight up like he's dead. That's it. But yeah, he goes into a coma, which is obviously also terrible. And then little montage passes a little bit of time, and he wakes up. And like immediately everybody's wondering, like, well, when are you gonna get back in the ring, Mike? Like, you're part of the Von Erich legacy, blah blah blah. Like, you're the only one left, type of shit or whatever. And it like ends up just being like too much for him after a little bit, and fucking, he's like clearly slower. He can't play guitar as well anymore. Like he even makes that comment to his mom where he's like, everyone wants me to be David. Yeah. He's like, but I can't. Like, I'm not him, and I can't be David. And it's just like, fuck, bro. Like, that's so hardcore. Sad, dude. It's intense, dude. Yeah. So sad. Like, this kid just loved music. His brothers knew he loved music. He wasn't. His brother's trying to help. Yeah. Right. Even what's her name, Pam, too. They like all sneak him out for the show and stuff. Like they all know that he's like the sensitive one, and they like try to like protect him. Yeah. And they like go to his show, and even Carrie's like, dang, like he's so good. Like, and to me, like they did such a good job of like portraying like the brotherhood like so well. Like they're great. Like to me, like the best scene that shows it is when Carrie comes back and he talks to his dad. He says, hey, like, sorry, blah 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 blah. And then he just talks to his mom like, hey mom. Like the way he says hi to his mom and dad is very cordial and very like businesslike. And then when he sees his brothers, like he lights up, they all come and they all hug each other. I was like, oh, it's great. I was like, fuck, it's beautiful, dude. Bro. Oh, it's so good, dude. Shit really makes me want to tear up, bro. It's so good. It is. It's really good, honestly. Which is like why it's like that much more tragic when like they slowly just start to fucking die and like disappear. But Mike, right? Yeah, Mike can't handle the pressure of everything happening and fucking decides he's just gonna overdose on pills. Walks out to the middle of the field and fucking dies. And fucking, I think it's Kevin who finds him, right? Or is it somebody else? I don't know. I couldn't tell in the movie because they all like go out like in a group. It's like a search party kind of vibe. Yeah. Again, another great example of like just fucking good camera work, bro. Yeah, like, just like a really wide shot. It's very easy to get like, oh, we're gonna follow a character, like we're gonna follow them closely, but it's just like, no, like let's keep them, like let's keep it far back and let's show this whole fucking thing. And it's crazy too because like I don't know if it's immediately after, but it's like somewhat close after this too. Another like just really hardcore, just like fucked up sad scene is like they're getting ready to go to Mike's funeral, and the mom can't like bring herself to get dressed. Dude, I lost it. I broke down so hard. It's fucked up. I lost it, dude. And then like Pam comes in and she's like, hey, like you gotta get ready, we gotta go. And she's like, they're gonna recognize it. And she's like, what? And she's like, they're gonna recognize the dress because like her David died so recently that like she hasn't even gotten, I mean, you shouldn't have to, but like she doesn't have a new like black dress, like a new funeral dress. It's the same one she wore to her last son's funeral. And it's like a weird mix up of like, I'm sure a hardcore, deeper, like subconscious psychological thing of like, this is impossible. I can't be a mother who wears the same dress to like both of her son's funerals. But then it's also like twisted with this crazy old school ideals of like women having to be fashionable and like events and stuff like that too. And it's like they're all gonna recognize me. They're gonna know blah 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 type of shit. And it's fucking intense, bro. It's like hard to watch. The whole movie's hard to watch. Yeah, that scene hit me so hard too because it's like when
David passes away, they have like a very similar scene where they like show her face, and like you can tell like in the first time where they show her, like she is obviously very sad and grieving, but like she's like keeping it together like very well. Yeah. Whereas like in that time, like she's just like she's lost it. Like she's lost 3 kids at that point.
Yeah, she lost the son when they were all really little.
Jack Jr.
Jack Jr. Yeah, or when what's his name was little, right? Kevin.
Yeah, I think he says he was like 5 and a half or something like that.
Before David was born too, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so so there's that kid, and then David and Mike are what, within the span of like a year or 2?
Something like that.
It's like super quick. I don't think a lot of time passes. It's less than like 3 or 4 years for sure.
I can't remember because I feel like the movie makes it seem very like the events are very close together, but you also have to pay attention to like the different.
They tell you when they switch times on there. It's and I think they do jump like 2 or 3 years every time.
Or also when they're doing like the matches, like when the matches they'll have like the Von Erichs versus blah 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 like January something like 19 blah blah blah. So
all of it takes place in the 70s, I think. So even
70s, 80s, and to the
very
early
very
to mid 90s.
Is there, but like the majority of when she's losing the kids is all in like a short period of time. Too short to lose that many of your sons. Like from David to Carrie, all 3 of them dying. It's like too intense. And like it's fucked up, man. And like the way that they did it was like just like very smart writing. Cause like, you know, with biopics and stuff like that, like stuff like this, obviously they're not going to have every nitty gritty detail of like what happened. So like from the storytelling side of things and like the movie aspect of like what is a true story, like that's just a great way to like convey the pain and like horrible trauma that like this mother is going through. Is it's like, fuck, bro, like her previous son who died so recently, like it happens so close in like the past that literally doesn't even have a new dress, which again, like you don't even think, why would you? You're not like, oh, I better get a new funeral dress for next time one of my kids dies. Like,
gotta prepare for my next one.
Yes, but so like you wouldn't, but yeah, it's just a really hardcore scene. It's good shit. And then it's down to 2. After that, it's just Kevin and Carrie, and Carrie kind of like tries to make a run at things again, right? Like tries to like, I mean, shit, he's got the fake foot on and stuff, but like he's in a couple of matches here and there. But then
he ends up winning the world. He ends up winning a world title.
But then they cut him, right? Eventually.
So I don't. That's the other thing, like that the movie that I don't really know the time span of like how soon after the world championship he got cut, because like he wins the world championship, comes back home like on Christmas, and that's when he like gives the dad like the Smith and Wesson or whatever. Yeah. And like his dad doesn't want to shoot it, and he almost gets all like offended because like
it's like you always shoot a new gun when you get it.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, he probably feels like he's done all this shit for like his dad, and he just wants his dad's approval, and like, here, I was able to win this and get this for you, dad. Like, here, take this, and his dad doesn't fucking do it. Yeah. But I don't know how soon after, but like he supposedly is gonna go to like Mexico or something with his girlfriend Tanya. Yeah. And then we just cut to the scene when I keep wanting to call him Zach, but Kevin is like sleeping. He's like sleeping at home, and then freaking Carrie calls him and is just telling him how he's just like he's scared, like he can't do this, like he doesn't, like they cut him and he's just doing like basic shows, and like he doesn't know what he's gonna do, and like he doesn't want to like live anymore, blah 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 blah. And Kevin's like tripping out because, you know, it's just them two at this point, and he's just like, you know, like you can come like stay here, and Carrie's just like
nah, just I don't want your kids to see me like
exactly.
This. Like,
and then he's just like, okay, like we'll just go home, and I'll go and like I'll meet you there, and we'll go like get something to eat or do something like that, blah blah blah. Yeah. And Carrie kind of just like hangs up the phone, so he doesn't know, and then
calls his dad right after.
Yeah, calls his dad right after.
Like, hey, keep a fucking eye out for him. Like, homeboy, your son is suicidal and on the way to the house. Like, please look out for him. And the dad is literally like, you boys got to take care of yourselves.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
It's like, holy shit. Yeah. So he like books it home, and like when he gets there, he sees Carrie's car there, and he like looks in it, and Carrie's not there. He walks up to his house, or he walks up to his parents' house. He sees the front doors open. And like as soon as he walks in, he hears like a gunshot, and he just like walks out and like tries to see where it comes from. sees the tree, like runs over it, and then Carrie's just like and just
Shot
laying
himself
there.
in the fucking heart, bro.
Yeah, just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And the
dad comes over. Fritz.
Dad comes running by, and Kevin just flips out on him and like attacks him.
Almost killed him. Dude.
Yeah, and is like, I told you to fucking.
It's like, I literally told you he was coming over here.
Yeah.
I just asked you to watch out for him.
Told you to look out for him, and his dad hits him with like, well, he called you, blah 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 blah. You should have looked out for him.
Dude,
And dude, I thought he was gonna kill him. I was in there. I was in there. I was like, kill this motherfucker, bro. He deserves
honestly,
it. Like, he's such a piece of fucking shit, and he doesn't even like. Granted, like, does he want good for his kids? Yes, he does. Like, he wants his kids to be successful, but not in the ways they want to be successful, in the ways that he sees.
He wanted to be successful.
Yeah, in the ways that he wanted to be successful, he's just like, it's literally like the fucking, have you seen like the meme? I don't know what fucking movie it is, but it's with fucking Matt Damon, and this kid's just like, I don't want to live your dream, Dad, blah, 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 whatever. He's like, well, it's a good dream.
Oh, yeah. We bought a zoo.
It's
I've never seen that movie, but I know that clip.
It's like that clip. It's really like
but
that
like
clip.
10 times darker, though.
10 times darker,
like
exactly.
Worse,
yeah, but literally almost kills his dad.
Yeah. I'm glad he doesn't, because I will say that, like, as much as I, as like the audience member in the moment, felt like, oh, sweet fucking revenge, like, killed the villain, basically. Like, to me, he's the villain of the movie.
Yes.
And I did want it, but at the same time too, like, Kevin wouldn't have ever outlived that. Like, for one, he would have probably just went to jail. And then even if he did get out after that, like, that's hardcore. That's more hardcore trauma on top of all the shit he's lived through already, to like have killed your father. No matter how much of a piece of shit he was, that is going to do something to you, right?
Yeah.
So like, I was glad for Kevin that he was able to walk away.
Yeah.
And like not have that blood on his hands,
Yeah.
But like immediately after, he goes and he like picks up Carrie and he like walks him into the house. And it's like probably the most powerful scene to me.
So good.
Is like you see Carrie walking and he's like fine, right? He has his leg back. And I think this is in I was going to do too. I think this is in Kevin's imagination. Is the way I read it. Yeah. I think it's like kind of meant to blur the lines a little bit of like, maybe he is actually passing into an afterlife, but from how the scene begins and then how it ends with Kevin, like kind of like spacing off into the distance, to me, it was his way of accepting that he had lost all of his brothers. Okay. That like this was at least think about that. That's what I got from it, was that like this was the only way he could deal with his pain, was like, at least all of my brothers are together now in the afterlife, right? And Carrie's walking, his foot is better. He like has his like regular foot back. He gets on a boat and he's like rowing down, and then like on the dock there is David and Mike, and then even Jack Jr. eventually, right? And like there's the reunion of all the brothers and shit, and like it's just so emotional and so good, and like they all just embrace each other, and they're like, he gets up there and he's like, where's Jack Jr.? Is he here? And it's like the kid, he's like still a little boy, and he like picks him up and is hugging his little brother, and he's like, it's so nice to meet you.
He's like, I guess you're my older brother.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. It's really, really good. Super heavy, super well done. Again, from the way I got it, like I really liked that idea that like he doesn't have his brothers with him anymore, but at least all of them are together now, and that's like sort of a close enough consolation. He does struggle for a little while, and you get all of the follow-up aftermath and shit like that, and then like you kind of get closer to the end of the movie before they do like the montage of stuff, and like he's out there playing with the boys, right? His boys, his sons, and he's like sitting there just like crying, like thinking about like all of his brothers and stuff, and like his kids see him and they run over and they're like, hey Dad, what's going on? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, like you shouldn't see us like this. And like, again, just like great shit of like, I don't know if like kids in the 1980s would have said this shit, honestly, but like it's a nice message to have for the end of the movie, which is like, that's okay, Dad, like boys cry, we cry all the time, like it's all right if you're gonna cry, like don't worry about it. Like
I believe that as like a very like accurate depiction of like, because kids just say like,
they say what they feel.
Kids say real shit, bro. Like listen to kids and they filter. Say they say real shit. So like I truly believe like a kid would have sat there and said that shit. I'm like, hey, it's all good, like it's okay, like we cry.
Yeah.
Like I just also thought it was funny, like the kid just being like, I cry all the time.
Yeah,
like,
it's like, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was so
Dude,
funny.
yeah, but it's so good though, because they're like, "Why are you crying, Dad? Like, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I just miss my brothers." And
Yeah,
then,
he's
like,
like, I used to be a brother.
I used to be a brother, yeah. And then just again, so hardcore, bro. Just like so gut wrenches. Like they're like, "We'll be your brothers, Dad."
Yeah, oh,
It's
so
like,
good,
oh,
dude.
fuck, bro.
Dude, it was
oh
so
God.
good.
And then they're
Yeah.
just like playing football back there, like hanging out and shit. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's you know what okay, something I had meant to bring up. So crazy thing where like I don't know how accurately this lines up in the actual history of shit,
Mm-hmm.
or if this was a choice in the storytelling of the way they decided to like present it. But each time one of the brothers dies, Kevin's wife is pregnant with a baby boy. So like he tells David about them being pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then immediately after he passes, but then they have the kid. It's not quite as on the nose, but
Mhm.
like pretty soon after David dies, they start to have the second kid be in the picture a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, when Carrie has passed away, she's pregnant again
Dang.
with another baby. So like in my head too, again, I was like, damn, I don't know if this was like the actual history timeline of things, and like this fool was just blessed to literally have his brothers be reincarnated as his sons,
Uh-huh.
or if this was like a storytelling element. But either way, that's what I believe.
Dang.
I like that shit.
Dang, I never noticed that. Dang.
Like almost immediately after every time, there's
That
a
also-
new baby in the picture.
That also like kind of makes sense too, because her thing is like this curse that you believe, because there is a time when like his brothers are dying and
Yeah.
like and
He
fucking
fully believes in the curse.
he fully believes in the curse. He doesn't want to go home because he doesn't want it to rub
He
off on his
gives-
kid.
He
Like
gives the kid his old fucking last
name,
He doesn't give him,
Atkinson?
yeah, not
Mhm.
Von Erich. Yeah.
yeah, and he's just also very just almost gone. Like he's just
Yeah.
out of it. Like losing the people that you're closest with is just like probably the hardest fucking thing in the
Yeah.
world, and he goes through it so many fucking times. So at one point he's literally just probably just done, and he's also
It's like,
like
I'm not even gonna take the chance.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like, but his wife is very adamant on like, dude, like this isn't real. Like you
Yeah.
need to come home. You need to be with us. So
Because
like,
she's telling him what the audience knows of like,
Yeah.
no, it's your dad. Your
Yeah.
dad is an evil piece
Yeah.
of shit. It's not a curse. Like,
Mhm.
which I'm debating on still, honestly.
no, it's
I
just-
think it's
I,
half
I
curse.
I,
half,
bel I understand. I get it.
to a certain extent,
Yeah.
because like again, like I think that there's like, I'm not gonna go so far as to say like a missed opportunity, but like, I don't think that like Fritz is just. I don't think anybody is just born purely evil. So like, the fact that they don't go into like the backstory of how he was raised, which like again, like you said, it was that time. That's how all boys were raised, probably during that time. But for me, in the mythology of things, like that brings in the curse stuff for me. Is it's like, okay, as soon as he changed their name to Von Erich, like crazy shit started happening or whatever, and it lines up with his terrible deeds and everything like that and whatnot too. But I don't know, just something about like the mythology of how they present it. It very much also felt like that was meant to be a presence in the movie
I feel you.
that you were supposed to take kind of serious. Like you
Yeah.
weren't sure as the audience member,
Yeah.
of like, fuck, bad shit does keep fucking happening to them, bro. Like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
Yeah. Such a fucking
Crazy intense. Very, very
such a good movie.
Yeah, I think, again, I was saying it, I can't remember if it was before or during, but like it's such a crazy sleeper hit, man, to just like come out like right at the tail end of 2023. Like, again, didn't really get a lot of buzz. Like, this is one that like I could have seen at like award shows and stuff like that, but like didn't really hit or anything. Granted, I think it might have been too late. I think stuff at the end of the year goes for like 2025's awards and stuff
I think
like
so.
that.
I don't know. I don't know
But-
the fucking cycle. For it.
But yeah, like I it's hard because I feel like he's probably not gonna get his dues because for one, I don't think it blew up as much as like something needs to blow up in order to get like recognition and whatnot. Like there's great performances that happen out there all the time, but if they're not popular, like people aren't gonna pay attention.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right? And like I have a bad feeling that might happen to Zac Efron in this movie. Cause like I don't know how it did like box office numbers, like if it's like doing incredibly well, breaking even, whatever, but like I'm not hearing the stories about it where people are like, oh my god, this is the next must-see movie, you have to go check this out. Like it seems to have slipped under the radar a little bit more to me. Like I don't know, in comparison to other stuff that I've heard about,
I feel like I've seen quite a bit of like quite a bit of people being like, no, this is Zac Efron's fucking performance.
Oh yeah,
right
like
here.
that part for sure. But I
Mhm.
just mean that like I don't know if the movie in general
Oh, okay.
is getting the buzz that it needs to have him be put on that like pedestal of like the next great performance by like somebody you wouldn't expect, you know? Like
Mhm. I think
I
maybe not immediately, but I think
hopefully in
I
the
can
long
see
run.
this being like a cult classic where like
Yeah,
people are
almost
like,
definitely, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think people are appreciating it, but that's what I'm saying is kind of a bummer. Is it's like I don't know if it has the like mainstream like penetration
Mm-hmm.
that's needed for him to get like an award for something or like
Mm-hmm.
the recognition that he might
Mhm.
deserve on a big scale like that for how well he does in this movie. I do think it's probably going to go a little bit more under the radar. Maybe hopefully he'll get nominated.
I think we're still like, it's only been out like a couple weeks too. So like,
Yeah.
I think like
I-
very end of December is when it came out.
I hope he at least gets nominated.
Yeah.
But again, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I hope so. I hope he gets his due because I think he does a really good job. Like everybody in the movie is definitely bringing it, but he is for sure the star of the show. He does a really good job.
Yeah, this shit for sure snuck in as my favorite movie from 2023 for sure.
Nice.
100%.
Very nice.
1000%. This is a 10 out of 10 movie for me. There's literally nothing wrong with this movie from my perspective, in my opinion.
I don't know if it's. I'm only gonna say 9 out of 10 because there's like something nagging at me in the back of my head. But like it is really, really good. I don't know if it's like a perfect movie so much because like I do think it's maybe a little bit long at times. Like it's like what 220 something I think, right?
Not even that. I think it's only like 212.
Oh, okay. I guess that's not so bad. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Like there something about it is just like holding me back from saying like perfect 10 out of 10 because like it is really fantastic. It is super good, but like I don't know. Like when it comes to like biopics and stuff like that, it's not hitting like my top 3.
Ooh.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also a musician, and those are the ones that always hit for me.
Okay,
is the
yeah,
musician biopics,
Yeah.
or like the actor biopics. Like it could very much just be that wrestling has not been a part of my life. So like maybe that's the nagging bit that keeps it from being like that level for me. But like, yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. I think it's wonderful. I certainly agree that it's like one of the best movies of 2023. But it's not a perfect 10 for me. But I still give it a 9. I think it's a fantastic fucking movie. It's amazing.
No, yeah, I was just like just when I watched this movie, like I was very much like, holy shit, like this is why I fucking love watching movies. Like it's just like to me, like I'm a big sports guy, so like I might not be a big wrestling fan, but like in terms of like just sports environments and sports vibes, like I understand and I get it. So it's like for me, this was like just cream of the crop type of like the 2 hours felt like it flew by. Like it went like super quick, but in like a good way. Like I feel like there's a lot of times like with like the Ray Charles movies, for instance, like where we were like, damn, I wish they would have like kind of gone into like X, Y, and Z a little bit more.
Yeah.
I feel like this is what they did. I feel like the moments that they touched on, they really lived in them for quite a bit, and we really got to feel like what they were trying to portray. You know what I'm saying? So everything to me was just like so good. Like the camera work was good. All the actors fucking killed it. It was really well written. Like
the music's killer.
The music's fucking killer. Like, yeah, it was so fucking great for me. And like, I was just sitting there like, damn, like this is why I love coming to the movies, or this is just like why I love fucking watching movies, for like to get stories like this, right?
Yeah.
This is like such a good form of like storytelling, and to see something like this where I may not have ever known about the Von Erich wrestling family ever in my fucking life if this movie never would have come out.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
And like now I'm like, fuck, dude, now I need to figure out like more of like what happened. Like obviously like we get the gist of what happened. Like,
sure, yeah.
But I kind of want to know more of like the real story on like what happened.
Yeah.
Like what happened to the other brother that wasn't in the fucking movie and shit like that, you know?
Definitely.
But yeah, Iron Claw.
Definitely
my
go
favorite
watch
movie of 2023.
I feel like you would probably have a little bit more debate if we did like a full-on list of 2023 movies. Not to say that it wouldn't still be your favorite, but I feel like maybe there'd be a couple things that would try to creep up.
Honestly, I was thinking about a top 5, and I came up with...
Because we didn't do one this year.
No, we didn't.
No, yeah.
But I also didn't see like a lot of... Like I didn't see The Killer.
Yeah.
I didn't see Killers of the Flower Moon.
Did you like it more than Oppenheimer?
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah. So for my list, I came up with Iron Claw at 1, Air at 2,
Okay.
Across the Spider-Verse at 3,
Mm-hmm.
Oppenheimer at 4, Barbie at 5.
Okay. Most of those are probably on my list too, except for Air, because I didn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Iron Claw would be on my top 5, but I'd have to go back and look too. Because the other thing too is like we watched a lot of movies last year that we watched for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So even though they weren't technically like 2023 releases, they would probably end up in like my top movies of 2023 list.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to like really pay attention to everything that we watched last year.
Well, like just keeping it to movies that came out in 2023.
If it's movies that came out last year, then like top 3 for me would be like Oppenheimer was probably my favorite. I really liked Barbie, but like I don't know if it would go in like my top 3, but it's gonna be in the number 2 slot for now, just because the only other one I can think of that would go up there would be like Spider-Verse, and like everybody knows my opinions. Everybody who pays attention to the podcast knows my opinions on that movie. I think it'll be the best Spider-Man movie ever once the second half of it comes out. But yeah, for now I'm reserving judgment on it. But yeah, like, yeah, quick list. I would say those are probably my top 3. Yeah. Oppenheimer was absolutely my favorite movie of last year. I thought that movie was a goddamn masterpiece. I watched that shit in IMAX from here, and it was still one of the most beautiful things I ever saw in my life, bro. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, guys, Iron Claw. The Iron Claw.
Yeah.
Go and watch that shit. Just because, it's a great movie. I think it's a great movie to watch in the theaters.
100%. I agree. It definitely has that, like, spectacle, especially when they get into the wrestling stuff of things, where, like, you want to be in, like, a loud movie theater to watch it for sure. I mean, if you have a good home system, whatever, good for you. That's great. But
I don't even think it's out on, like, streaming or anything yet.
Oh,
so
no, it won't be for a while.
You got to go and watch that shit.
For now, yes.
In theaters.
I'm glad that movies are going back to at least starting in the movies. Like, you can guarantee you're going to get it on a streaming service within, like, a couple of months still. But at least some movies are like, no, at first this is a theatrical release. Like we're
especially like
home.
A24 movies. Like A24 movies, like I think the only one that like, because I think Air was like an A24 Amazon.
Oh, like crossover
movie.
vibe.
Yeah, so it came out pretty quick on Amazon, but it had a good stint at first, like in theaters.
Yeah, I appreciate that because like I feel like even Disney's been better about that, where like they'll throw them out in theaters first, and like again because they're partnered specifically with their shit, like you're gonna get it like a month later probably, right? With like Amazon or like Apple shit or like whatever and stuff like that. But at least they're trying. You know? They're still at least attempting to be like, at first this is a theatrical release only. I do think it's funny the way they advertise it still, because like in trailers they'll be like only in theaters, but really it should be only in theaters parentheses for the first 2 months.
Yeah, I'm always just like,
it's not only gonna be in theaters, like it's gonna show up on some streaming service eventually. Yeah,
it's just so it like cuts out the question of like, well, can I watch it on streaming?
Yeah,
people
it's
are just
such
like,
a
no,
statement.
only in theaters.
Yes, yeah.
I like the only in theaters Tuesday, October 22nd, or something like
Yeah,
that. It's like, wait, so it's only in theaters
that
on that
one day. Yeah, don't miss it.
I only have this day to go and watch it.
Yes, the movie guy like answering your questions, like that's what I said.
Listen up, you little bitch.
Yeah. So I only get one day to watch it? Yup. That's kind of crazy. I know. I'm just reading the prompt.
I don't choose when the movies come out.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
But yeah, good shit. Really solid. I would say a feel-bad sports movie in comparison to what we're about to talk about, which is a traditional feel-good sports movie.
Yeah. Well, I guess at the end,
there's a little bit of, yeah.
It gets a little lighter, especially with the kids. And you're like,
it feels
hey,
better, but it's like, damn, what did you have to get through for him to like feel somewhat okay about his life eventually? You know?
Yeah. But I mean, hey, he went on to have 4 kids, 13 grandkids.
Yeah, crazy shit.
Crazy.
Live a happy life with his wife and shit. So yeah, it turned out good for him. Yeah. But yeah,
shouts out.
Yeah, it's good shit.
But shall we move on and talk about?
Let's do it. You want to set him up really quick while your boy takes his
little tinkle?
Yeah, but you know what? It's so much easier to exit now.
Yeah, there we go.
Because of our fancy new microphone stand.
Just exit stage right over there.
Yeah, straight up, bro. Leader game shit right now.
Oh shit. But yeah, guys. The next movie we're gonna talk about, like Daniel said, is not a feel bad sports movie. It's actually a feel very good sports movie. It is the movie Invincible, starring Mark Wahlberg, Elizabeth Banks, and a bunch of other actors whom I do not know the names of, but, you know, eventually we'll get there. We'll get to the day when I can just name off all the actors, but you know what? I've had a few drinks. Probably going to have one more before this ends. And, yeah, that's all you need to know right now. Invincible, starring Mark Wahlberg, Elizabeth Banks. Mark Wahlberg plays Vince Papali, a Philly bartender who also doubles as a substitute teacher, who one day tries out for the Philadelphia Eagles because they have an open tryout. Because guess what? They fucking suck at this point. And all of his friends from his hometown are telling him, hey, man, you got to fucking try out for the Eagles because you're fucking good at football. You know, he's just a random guy who happens to be good at football. Vince goes and tries out for the Eagles. Lo and behold, he fucking makes the team. And yeah, he's got to fight to stay on the team. He's got to fight to make a lot of decisions. And yeah, it is a great movie. I believe it's from like 2007 or something like that. Let me actually look it up. But let's look what year Invincible it came out. Invincible. It sucks that 2006. See, I wasn't that off. Oh, sorry, excuse me. But yes, Mark Wahlberg as Vince Papali, Elizabeth Banks as Janet Cantrell. We have Greg Kinnear as Dick Vermeil. And yeah, a lot of other fucking people in this shit. But this is such a great movie. This is a movie that I watched when I was a kid. And I fell in love with it just because I'm a fucking sports guy. I'm a sucker for a good sports story.
Just a sports guy over here.
I'm just a fucking sports guy over here. What can I fucking say? You know, I'm a sports guy. I love a good sports movie. And this is a fucking good one, man. This is a very great, inspirational story. And like I was telling Daniel before, like, if you're someone that doesn't watch sports and doesn't understand what it means to be a sports fan, just fucking watch this movie and you'll fucking get it. You'll understand why people are hardcore sports fans.
I thought it was really good. I liked it a lot. I do have to say that, like, I feel like the type of like love for your like favorite team or sports and stuff like that is not really like possible in the same way that this shit was. And maybe that's because they dressed it up as a movie and whatnot. But like, they do such a good job of like highlighting how important it is to like the city of Philadelphia and like all of the shit that they're going through. Very resourceful over there. I like that. That's smart. Your boy's lighter was out, and so he fucking lit his joint on a candle, dude.
Fuck it, dude.
That's what's up. That's
what we're here for.
Fucking, that's some high IQ stoner shit right there, bro.
TH4TV. I thought about it a little while ago, but we were in the middle of talking about the movie, and I didn't want to.
I'm glad you did, bro. But yeah, they do such a good job of like, it gets set up like pretty early on in the movie, but like it's definitely a theme throughout the rest of it of like the people of Philadelphia are going through shit at this point. I don't know the exact history behind it, but like factory workers on the job are like getting like laid off or like jobs cut back or something like that. So like a lot of them are on strike, and like I guess that's like a recurring thing kind of for like the working people of Philadelphia, like all the way back to like Vince's like dad's generation of stuff. Yeah. And like the thing that like always got them through shit was like highlight shit of like their team, right? The Eagles and stuff like that.
But guess what? The Eagles suck.
They're terrible right now. Yeah, that's like how the movie starts, right? It's like they're getting their ass kicked, and it's like Vince and all the boys out there like talking shit, basically. Well, everybody except for Vince.
Yeah.
Vince is the one guy who's like, nah, man, this is still our team, you guys. What the fuck? And everybody's like,
they gotta show hard out there, man.
Boo! Like, fuck you. Yeah. Like, so pissed off, which is hilarious. But yeah, like, they do like such a good job, I think, of like really tying all of the different levels of it together, right? Of like keep like it's I think it's good. It doesn't really come in until like closer to like halfway through the movie, I think. Maybe like a little bit after a quarter of the ways in, where like it starts to become like a sports movie. For the first part, it's kind of just like a drama, a little bit of like, damn, like Vince is on some hard times, like his wife left him, he's like out of work. And then like all of a sudden there's like this silver lining shit going down of the Eagles suck this year. There's a new coach in town,
Dick Vermeil.
He's from UCLA or something like that, right?
Yeah.
He coached like college.
Beat Ohio State in the national championship game or in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah. And as a way to, I think if I'm not mistaken, just as a way to like get fans excited again, because like as they showed us, fans hate the Eagles right now.
They were not excited.
Yeah, they were losing really badly for a long time. Decides to hold open fucking tryouts for anybody in Philadelphia to just come through. And he's like, hey, fuck it, man. If you think you're the next NFL star, like, come through and check it out.
So crazy.
Very crazy, but little does he know he did it at the perfect time because fucking homeboy shows up, fucking Vince, right? Eventually, right? After a while. I do like that, like, they had the, like, reluctant hero kind of, like, vibe to him, you know? He's like, I don't know, man. Like,
so come on, guys. Like, I'm just a normal guy. What do you want me to do around here?
What do you think? I'm going to be out there playing with all these guys out there? That's crazy. I'm Mark Wahlberg.
I'm Mark Wahlberg. Come on.
What do you mean? This
what
is
do you
crazy. What do you think I go out there and play football? Huh? It's fucking crazy, man. Who do you think you are, huh? Not the best impression, but that's
pretty good.
That's the best Mark Wahlberg I can do.
That was pretty good. I like that. I liked it.
Fucking, he's out there, like, you know, kind of doubting himself a little bit. Everybody in his life, like, doubts him. Well, they don't. I think it's funny because, like, his friends are, like really progressive friends, I think, for, like, Boston, like, macho fans. Philly, yeah, sorry. Philly fans and shit like that who, like, have Boston accents for some reason. Maybe because Mark Wahlberg is
they're just Italian.
I guess that's true. Yeah, that's fair. But fucking... they're all, like, so incredibly supportive for, like, how macho, like, football dudes they are. I find it hilarious because, like, one minute they're sitting there, like, yelling at each other in the stadiums, like, hey, fuck you, motherfucker. But then the next one, they're like, I fucking believe in you, Vince.
Vince, you're really fucking good at football.
You're one of the best football players I've ever seen.
I know we just play on this random dirt patch and it's just a bunch of us random guys, but you're really fucking good at football.
It's hilarious, bro. I love it. It's so good.
He's just hella good. He's also more ripped than everybody is, too. Like, everyone is, like, you know... Not like out of shape, but they're not like in the best shape.
No, yeah.
And here's fucking Vince Papali, a fucking
like full on
a bartender / substitute teacher.
Yeah.
Who's just fucking jacked.
Yeah. I was laughing to myself a little bit because like, and my suspicions were confirmed at the end of the movie where they show like actual footage.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I'm sorry, no matter how inspirational this is, no way a dude the size of Mark Wahlberg makes it in the NFL. That fool's like 5'9", bro. Yeah. Like 5'10" or something. And like they didn't do anything to make him look taller in the movie. So I was like, I'm just gonna go for the suspension of disbelief in this. But when I saw actual fucking Vince at the end, he
was much taller.
I was like, okay, thank God. I was like, no way he made it in the NFL being as tall as Mark Wahlberg.
They were like, Mark Wahlberg's not tall, but guess what? He's fucking jacked. Mm-hmm. So we're just gonna go with that.
And he's a good actor. So it's fine. You know, like at least in these types of movies, I think he kills it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like they do. I think. Oh, cheers! We didn't cheers them. Sorry, I took a drink already.
Damn it!
Oh God!
No,
I've poisoned.
We're
my
cursed.
Body. I've cursed my body with uncheersed alcohol.
The Von Erich curse is on us now.
Mm-hmm. It's the fucking Kona Big Wave curse, bro. Mm-hmm. But I think I like the like roller coaster that this movie takes you on, because like I think they do a good job of like, all right, he starts pretty down in the dumps, but then he starts to have some hope as he's like kind of on the rise and shit. But then, you know, as you see with this kind of stuff, like one of his friends in particular starts to get worried about like, oh, he's gonna leave us for like the big times and
fucking
shit like
Johnny.
that. Fucking Johnny. He's just a total dick to him the whole fucking movie. And then like, you know, he kind of screws things up with the girl a little bit, and so it's like, oh man, he thinks he's gonna get cut, right? And like all this shit or whatever. But then they pull it back up. Well, his first game sucks too, right?
Yeah.
He's terrible in the first
game. He freezes.
Yeah. Gets fucking slammed like super hardcore. And then they bring it back up for the end. So I liked the like emotional ride of the movie. I thought they had like a good like high and lows going on with it. And like it felt, I think they did well with the time too, because like I look back at it after and I was surprised it was only like an hour 45.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this felt like I went through this whole dude's like origin and shit like that. Like they covered that in an hour 45. That's pretty good. So they made good use of the time, I think, for sure. And Mark Wahlberg's awesome. Like, I mean, if you don't like him, that's fine. I get it. Like, he can be kind of annoying after a certain like level of exposure to him. But like, I do think that he's like a pretty good actor.
Oh, I think he's great.
Is he like, you know, up there killing it with like the big dogs? Like, no, I don't think so. I'm not going to put him on like a level of like what we just saw in like Iron Claw, right? Like, I don't think he's like hitting at that level of stuff, but he does he does a pretty damn good job. Like I don't think he's ever not working hard in everything I see him in. You know.
Have you seen Pain and Gain?
No, I haven't.
Dude, that's a good one. That's a really fucking
That's
good
one
one.
with him and The Rock, right?
Him, The Rock, Anthony Mackie.
I'll never be able to watch that movie.
Dude, you need to watch that. That movie is fucking good.
I can do Mark Wahlberg or I can do The Rock. I cannot do Mark Wahlberg and The Rock.
Dude, what makes it crazy is like this is Mark Wahlberg and The Rock, and it's the most jacked I've ever seen Mark Wahlberg ever in his life.
I'm sure.
He's fucking just ripped, bro. Yeah.
He's right there next to The Rock. You know he was gonna work his hardest.
Dude, no, it's good. I'm telling you, it's fucking good.
Maybe we could do it. I mean, shit, if you want to do it for one of the podcast episodes, then I'll have no choice. Last year we did Ethan Hawke. Maybe this is the year of Marky Mark.
Yeah.
You know, who knows?
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, bro. But yeah, he's killer in the movie. Like, again, I don't think he's like bringing home an Oscar or anything with this performance, but he's really good. Like, he sells you, I think, and he's like a charming enough actor, and like he's got a good sad face, and like you feel for him, you know. Like, he does seem like he's one of the actors where like I remember I think it was Bullet Train. You were saying like it's kind of hard to like see Brad Pitt as like an everyman. Kind of vibe. Like, I don't think Mark Wahlberg has that problem. He is like the superstar level, I think, that Brad Pitt is on, but
he can just be a regular guy.
Yeah, and it's like not so unbelievable. Like, I didn't have such of a hard time in like Bullet Train and stuff, but like I definitely see where you're coming from, and like I don't get that with him. Is it's like I do think he's on that superstar status, like action, like athlete, like fucking producer, famous, like fucking rapper from way back in the day. Like, you know, he's fucking Marky Mark, bro. He's Mark Wahlberg. But you don't have a hard time seeing him as like an average Joe, who's, you know, I guess a slightly above average Joe in this world, in this movie. But he does a good job, and like his supporting cast is great too. Like, I loved all of the homies. Like, Elizabeth Banks too. Like, everybody's great. His dad is awesome too. I like the dad character a lot, because like I think it's like a good, not cheap way, I think, of having like, you know, a typical East Coast dad who like feels for his son and is like actually like down for his kid and is not actually just like a piece of shit like we see in a lot of typical shit, you know?
Yeah, it was a nice change it from the Iron Claw, where you're like, oh wow, here's a dad who loves his kid and is not afraid to tell his kid that he loves him.
And I think in general too, anytime you hear dudes talking like this, you're probably going to expect their dad to be a little bit of a piece of shit. Like, it just comes with movie territory a lot of the times, you know, where like that's kind of like a typical stereotype, I think. And like what I liked about this portrayal of like his dad as a character is that they don't go overboard with it, where he's like sitting there spewing his guts to his kid and shit like that. It's like really subtle ways that he tells him like, I love you and I'm proud of you and I think you're doing a good job. Like, keep fucking trying. Like, there's like one of my favorite lines in it is like when he's starting to go through tryout or the first bits of like summer camp, I think he like has to go ask his dad for money, and his dad tells him like, hey, like, don't get your hopes up, like a man can only take so much failure. And you're like, ooh, that's kind of a piece of shit dad move right there. I don't like that. You should believe in your son. And then like, you know, he gets excited as things start to go on later and later, and like right before he thinks he's about to get cut from the team, like before the regular season starts, his dad is like, when I told you not to get your hopes up, that didn't mean I wasn't.
Like, dude, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that. That was so good.
That's a good line.
Such a good fucking line.
So
bro.
like so heartwarming for such like a simple cold delivery of like not a cold dad, but just like, you know, not like a super heartwarming lovey-dovey dad. Like, that shit hit like the heartstrings for sure. It's like, damn, that was good. Him
and Johnny even have like a good moment, like, you know, they're beefing or whatever, and then fucking
oh yeah, when he goes out to play ball with them.
Yeah, and he like fucking Vince just pulls up and he's like watching him, you know, reminiscing and shit like that. And then Johnny comes up to him and is just like, hey man, like, you know, your friends, we need you out there. You know? And he's just like, oh, I can't, you know, I play on Sunday. And then it starts to rain and he's just like, you know, fuck it. And then he like goes out there and like plays like. That was fucking good right there.
Yeah,
I love that shit.
I will say there was like two scenes that made me laugh my ass off, and it's like right in the beginning when they're playing ball out there in the yard for the first time, and also that rain scene, because like for me, That was an example of too much slow motion. Like,
oh yeah,
the entire
oh yeah
montage that they have is them just like running around in like the mud, like all slow mo and shit, just like fucking. And they're doing like such dramatic shit too. I love it. It's hilarious. But like fucking getting the mud in their hands and like bah, bah, like slapping themselves in the face. Like, let's get into it and shit. Like it's so funny, bro. It's so over the top.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, it's hilarious. I love it. It sells it for sure.
Them playing football is just so funny too, because it's like
Anytime it happens.
like why are you hitting each other that hard? Like why?
I think
there's no need to.
No, but it's like I think it's part of selling like the stereotype. Just the
man,
the
football guy,
the East Coast football guys. They
but it's like
they don't fuck with the California coach coming over here. Where's your surfboard, buddy? Like,
but like they're hitting each other hard, really hard bro, and they don't have any protection on. Like they're just hitting each other hard as fuck. And they don't care.
So much they love the game of football. That's
so crazy.
So much they love the game of football.
It's so crazy to me, because if a dude that was actually as jacked as Mark Wahlberg running that fast and just hitting you, fuck, bro, that would fuck you up.
Yeah, 100%.
And you're just like, I gotta get up and go to work the next day. It's like,
dude,
what are you talking? You guys are just gonna hit the fuck out of each other.
I will say,
and then be like, let's go get a drink after.
How boring would it be though if like they're playing half-assed? You know, like you got to give it some extra oomph.
Yeah,
for the movie.
no, I get it.
That's probably what it is.
Like I understand. Like not that that's like not like. I've definitely seen in movies like people playing football without pads, like and it being portrayed in like a believable way.
Yeah.
But this is like they're hitting each other as if they're playing real NFL fucking football with pads on.
Maybe that's supposed
like
to
they're hitting
be
each other without care for the other human being.
Maybe like within the context of the movie, that's supposed to be like part of the reason why Vince is like able to make it in the NFL. He's like, I play this shit without pads, bro. I've done this shit my whole life without safety or whatever it is. Like something, I don't know, but like
that's true.
You know, that kind of vibe. Because like there is that scene later too where he's like, I think it's still during like summer tryouts and stuff, but or summer camp, and they're like all racing to like hit the like it's like the special teams tryouts, right? Mm-hmm. And, like, he fucking goes back to the locker room and he takes off all the pads. And, like, the dude is like, what are you doing, man? You can't be wearing quarterback shit or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, I guess it won't matter anyways. Like, I'm going to be gone. It's like the
he's all, I can't. He's all, how do you expect me to run in this shit?
Yeah, and then he, like, fucking jams, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, that also gave me that vibe, too, of him just being like, I don't need all this protection, man. I came from the streets. Yeah, like, kind of vibes, true. You know? Yeah.
It just, like, not that narratively it fucks with me. It's just, I just think it's funny. I think it's funny that, like, damn, y'all are really, like,
going 100%.
Acting like you're playing like real football right now.
Oh yeah.
As if you're getting paid to do this. But like actually, if you were to get seriously injured, you would lose money because you got to pay the hospital bill, mm-hmm. and also you're probably out of work for a while.
Unless you're on a good contract.
Exactly.
If you're actually playing in the NFL. I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it is funny. It's hilarious. I also love. It cracked me up any and every time Mark Wahlberg would run in this movie, because like. He just tears off like a motherfucker, but then they like do like not the full slow motion, but like half slow mo. So mm-hmm. like he's still running like almost full speed, but you can tell it's like dramatic. Mm-hmm. And they just have like this really intense underscore that plays like every time he's running that like reminds me of just like bum 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 bum. You know, like it's just like so inspiring and shit. And it cracked me up every time. I was laughing my ass off.
So good.
But it is satisfying to see him like because they do have the tryouts and everything, right? And
tryouts? What the fuck is a tree out?
What is that from?
It's from The Longest Yard.
Oh yeah.
It's Joey Diaz. They like they post the football tryout fucking poster, and he like rips it off the wall, and he's like, football tree outs. He's all, what the fuck is a tree out? And then Chris Rock comes in, he's like, it's tryouts, you dumb motherfucker, or some shit like that.
Is that's on with Adam Sandler, right?
Yeah, when he like goes to jail and then he makes then he puts together the football team.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But yeah, it is satisfying. I will say, like, you like expect it because like he's like your hero character, right? Mm-hmm. He's the main dude, and you see all these like out of shape, like funky looking, like football nerds, like super excited about the game. They're like big time fans or whatever, but they're clearly not in shape to play like football. And they're like out there so confident, like, I'm going to be the next Eagle, baby. Yeah. And they're like getting their shit wrecked, right?
Yeah.
And like it takes a long time before you see Mark Wahlberg like do his sprint or whatever. But then he finally does. And like they get the time. He's like, fucking kid got a 4.5.
Yeah,
Holy
crazy,
shit.
crazy
Yeah,
40
like,
time.
Yeah, like it's fucking hilarious though, just to like fucking it, and it's also just it is good, is what I was saying. Is like you like the build up,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
you're waiting. You're like, oh, he's about to show these motherfuckers up, like, and he gets down for sure.
Yeah, and it's also it's the 70s, so it's like you like it. Like the skill gap between like an NFL player and the average person was definitely like a lot closer than like it is nowadays.
Sure,
like,
probably, yeah.
The average person cannot go out and try out for an NFL team today and make the football team.
No, but I think the other thing too is it's like I think it's supposed to be that like he is again. Like I don't know if he's the vibe that I got from the movie, anyways, and I don't know how accurate this was to like real life stuff, was that like he didn't necessarily have like 100% the chops to be out there and like playing all the time. Like I think they even show that a couple times where like he gets injured a lot quicker. He's like having to like tape himself up and like keep bandages on his shit because like he's older, right? He starts when he's like 30.
Yeah,
but it's the heart.
Yeah,
it's like it's the heart of Philly that's in him and shit. That like
but like nowadays it's like so different because like dudes are freaks of nature since like they're like 12 years old, and like
that's true.
People that are like, if you're gonna like be in the NFL, it's like cool, you're training since you're probably a young
like
person.
10.
Yeah, a young person. Yeah. And like someone that's 30 that's played 1 year of football is for sure not going out there and making not making a football team.
Yeah, for sure. I could see it. Yeah.
But like, not that.
Watch, it's gonna happen, bro.
Not that football players back then weren't like working out or anything like that.
Yeah.
But again, like they were closer to the average person back then than they are now.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I do. I also think too that like, I don't know, in like, there's always like that one, because like I guess that's also an old school story too. But I was gonna say like, there's always like that one person that you hear people talking about. Like I was gonna bring up like Larry Bird, where it's like, they're not the best and they're not the craziest or whatever, but like they just had that special something or
that's
whatever.
True. That's true. That's
so
true.
like there's that.
But that fool was also just stupid good at basketball.
But that's what I mean, is it's like you hear players talk about him and stuff, and they're like, he wasn't fast, he wasn't quick on the dribble, like he wasn't this, he wasn't that, but like he was just crazy with it, bro.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
He just had something about him.
That's
he was
true.
a tall, lanky white boy, but he fucking got down.
He just got down.
Yeah, bro. So like I don't know, there's that every once in a while too. But again, that's why I was like, that was also the 70s and like shit like that, the 80s and shit. So who knows,
they didn't have AAU basketball back in the fucking back in the 70s.
I will say I prefer this.
Yeah,
like it's kind of scary and like almost a little bit like, I don't want to say inhumane, because like that is those kids' dreams and stuff like that. Like hopefully that is what they want to do, but it's kind of hardcore to be like training for what you're gonna do for like a 10-year period of your life, hopefully maybe professionally, since you're like a 10-year-old.
Like it makes
but
sense
like,
though.
Does it though? Because I feel like you should be enjoying your childhood.
Okay,
when you're
not
a 10-year-old. Like,
not that you can't enjoy it, right? Like not that there's kids out there that don't like that don't have time to like enjoy being a kid, right?
Yeah.
But it's like if you have all of the stuff available to you, right? Like if you have the funds to like for baseball, for instance, if you have like access to like some of the best coaches, like if you have access to some of the best facilities, if you have access to some of the best gear, it's like, are you not going to provide that for your child? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, sure.
And it's like, if that's what they want to do and they're like, hey,
course.
I want to play professional baseball one day, cool. Like, since I have access to all of this shit and since all of this shit is very developed now, we're like, you can, like, you have coaches like taking videos and like slowing it down and showing you like your arm fucking where your arm slot is and all this shit. Like that's so much more beneficial to like back then. Like you just kind of had to do shit, like, whereas like fundamentals now are more like more defined and like, like you watch like especially if you watch kids from like Japan where like baseball, if you're gonna play baseball is your life since from your like when you're 12 years old like on, like you can tell the difference between someone who is like been training at this religiously for a long time versus someone like this is just fun and they're just good at it, you know?
That's what I'm saying though. That scares me. Like that's hardcore.
It's scary,
that's
but
up, I think a little bit.
It's scary, but it's like if that's what the kid wants to do, right? Is that not like the best thing to get them prepared? Is like, okay, like if this is what you want to do, then we're gonna try to put you on the best path as early as we can.
Yes,
not that, and I'm not saying that like every summer you're not gonna get to do like you're not gonna get to do X, Y, and Z. Like if they have the time to be a kid, cool. But also if they want. If this is something that they want, cool. I'm gonna provide it to them, so that they have the best opportunity to do what they want to do.
I just think that as a 12-year-old, at least me as a 12-year-old, I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do, and getting locked into a path that heavily is gonna lock you into that. Like maybe you do end up wanting to do something different with your life at like 16, but it's like fuck, I've been doing this for the last 5 years. What else am I gonna do? You know, like that's the kind of stories that like freak me out a little bit. Or not freak me out, but like I just think is maybe a little bit sad where it's like honestly, I don't in anything like virtuosos, like masters of their craft, whether it's like artists, like sports, like anything. I don't necessarily like the idea of like I couldn't do anything but this thing. This was all I had to. This was all I could do. You know, it's like damn, bro, like. You know, there's still like life out there, right? Like there is more than just this. Like beautiful. If you love that thing that fucking much, that like that's the only thing that like you can do, like, okay, at least you have your thing and that's your passion or whatever. But I feel like that level of passion can be dangerous.
Like, it can, but it's like sometimes that's what it takes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but
to
again,
get
like,
to that highest level of like, you know, like if we're talking like sports, right? When you're playing with the best of the best, like you need that like dedication and that drive to like want to be better every day, because it's like you're gonna get to a certain point where like fools have that mindset of like this is what I care about and this is what I love. So like, you know, again, like am I saying like if I have a kid I'm gonna like force that shit on them? Fuck no. But it's like if they're like, you know, Dad, I really like I want to play the piano, and if I have the means to get them like a really good piano teacher and really good piano lessons to teach them how to like play the piano, I'm gonna do that shit, you know.
Buy him a piano and be like, dude, if you want.
No, that's true. But it's like, if they come up to me, they're like, I really want to learn how to play the piano like this. I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. Yeah. Do you want to take some piano lessons? Yeah, I'm fucking down. All right, cool. Then I will get you a piano teacher and we'll fucking do this shit. If I had the means to.
Yeah, know? Sure. Most definitely.
But like also like to add to that, like there's this kid I've been like following on Instagram, and he's like this eighth grader, and he's just like, this is my journey to becoming a varsity basketball player.
Like you're 13, bro.
But like he's just like, that's a goal for him, is like I love basketball and I want to play varsity basketball. And he's just like posting like every day of like, I'm working out today, like, and I've been doing this, and I like go to the gym and I work on this, and I'm like tripping the fuck out, because I'm like, that's damn, cool. Bro, like you're really down to where he's like dedication. Where he's like in 8th grade and he's like, I'm warming up both of my shooting hands. Like I'm shooting right-handed and then I'm also shooting left-handed. Yeah. And then for my workout today, I'm working on mid-range jumpers, and after my mid-range jumpers, I'm going to threes. Then after my threes, I'm going to work on switching like speed. So I'm going to start out slow and then I'm going to explode to the basket and doing stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm like, holy shit, like shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, on some professional grade workouts at like a young age and stuff. Or,
and he's like, today's leg day. And I'm hitting legs, and then after I'm shooting around, blah, 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 blah.
See, I just can't. Like, if you're under the age of 14, fucking play. Just have fun. Don't fucking worry about anything. You're gonna still be able to probably get as strong as you would if you start at 15 or 16. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. It just trips me out. Like, that age range right there is just like the cusp, you know, of like, just be a kid for as long as you can. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. If that's what it is, if that's your passion, that's your passion. And I'm happy for you. If like, you know, that's what you want to follow and stuff like that. Like, that's great. But to me, it's just insane. It's like, how are you going to lock into something that early in your life, you know?
I don't know. I mean, to me, if the kid makes the like decision on their own of like, I want to do this, I'm going to be like, all right, cool. Like,
yeah, that's true. Know? But again, I have to bring up like, when are you ever going to trust a decision that a 12-year-old's going to make?
Dude, I think we have to give kids more credit than we give them.
I think you have to give kids more credit than you give them. I disagree when it comes to teenagers and preteens. Those fools is dumb. They do crazy shit.
They do, but like sometimes
hormones
like
take over your life.
oh,
bro.
100%.
You start doing crazy
100%.
dumb shit
But
when
like,
you're in
you
that
know,
age.
sometimes kids just like are like, this is what I fucking want to do. Like
Yeah.
I want to be a fucking baseball player. Like when Bryce Harper was fucking like 16, he like made the decision to be like, I'm gonna get my GED and I'm gonna go and play like junior college baseball and I'm gonna go and do this. And it's just like, cool, bro. And like that fool literally fucking is making millions of dollars now playing fucking baseball. And
I guess
that
maybe
shit.
that's the other thing
you know?
too that like turns me off to it a little bit is it's like sometimes I feel like that's part of the appeal for it is it's like it becomes a career path of like one that I don't totally agree with, which like I think we've talked about before. I think it's ridiculous that like I get it, they're performing at a very high level and it's like inhuman shit that they're doing and stuff like that, but like there are other jobs out there that should maybe get paid at least as much, or like
1,000%.
you know, more
1,000%.
or whatever it is and stuff. So like maybe that's probably also part of the reason why I get turned off to it is it's like I disagree with it as like a career path because I think it's ridiculous how much like professional athletes get paid for what they do, which at the end of the day is essentially playing a game. I understand again that they, you know, you're performing at like a higher level than anybody else. You're at the peak level of human physique and stuff, but you're playing a game. It's just a game. That's all it really is. Like, does that game mean a lot to a lot of people? Yes. And that's like what this movie is about, right? But damn, we pay those motherfuckers a lot of money. Each of them, every single one of them, and there are lots of them in all of these different leagues, get paid like millions of dollars. And it's crazy to me. I don't understand. Give it to the teachers, bro.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
1,000%.
like give it to anywhere else, really. Like
1,000%.
Like just give them a house and a cool car or whatever, but like it doesn't need to be billions of dollars and stuff like that all the time.
1,000%.
It is what it is. That's the different side of it and stuff. I do like that, like you were saying, I think this movie like helps give like a little bit of insight into like why like a community might get so gathered around a team. And like I did bring it up earlier, is it's like I do kind of feel like that's maybe gone a little bit because of how fast the world moves now, at least like the way that this story was presented, because like Philadelphia, the Eagles as a team, like getting back on the horse and like, you know, triumphing over like this like long history of losses that they had in like the last few years and stuff like that, very clearly goes along with like what is relevant in their city at the time, like on like a socioeconomic level, bro. Like they're dealing with like job like like, you know, security and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like very closely tied versus like now, I don't know if like with the progressive nature of how the world has like gone, I don't know if like people latch on to like sports teams that widely anymore.
I think we're just in the wrong place, but go ahead.
Well, that could be fair. Yeah, I could see that. It could be in like, you know, on the East Coast, it's still like that and whatnot. But like, I don't know. I just feel like nowadays you like won't have that same level of connection anymore. I could be totally wrong. You're right. Like, I don't know what the vibe is like over there or like just in different teams. We were talking about it, like even just being in a state with like a single team on it. But like, and also it's a movie. So people are like talking more in depth about their feelings, right? I don't imagine that like football fans are going to sit there and be like, oh, dude, I fucking love this team because like they helped me through the most difficult time of my life with this shit or whatever. Maybe they will, but I feel like that's not like the first thing they're going to say to you, which is like what happens in this movie, right? So it's also because it's just a movie and shit like that. So it's like oversold and stuff. But I don't know. It definitely seems like something that was special to that time frame where like that still seemed like a possibility, like you said, you know, like whereas nowadays that's so like like you said, like an average Joe wouldn't even dream of like possibly getting into any professional league this day. So like that type of connection between like the people and the players, like I don't think will probably happen again.
No.
Like that was I mean maybe it will,
yeah, something like that with like
where it's just like, a person getting on the team.
We're holding open tryouts and someone with no collegiate experience at all is going to make the team. That's
not going to happen anymore.
No, 1,000%.
And like that's the part that I mean, where it's like that connection from like the ground level all the way up to the players, to the organization, to what that like loops back around to mean to the people that like he comes from and stuff like that. Like that felt very special to like probably even just this instance in particular, right? Like I don't know if this obviously isn't happening like all over the league in the 70s and stuff like that, but yeah, it just feels very like very special, like very uplifting. Like it's for sure like super fucking heartwarming. Like I did not expect to tear up like towards the end of this movie. I was like in the very end, like when he finally like pulls his shit together and he like calls the other play and then like
scores a touchdown. And
yeah, I was
like,
oh, he fucking did it, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like I
stands
was
there and he's just like,
yeah, bro. Like I was down. Like I was fully invested in that shit. So they did a good job, like from the movie side of it for sure. Like I think they sold. Like again, I'm not a big like sports fan. Like I watch basketball and stuff, but other than that, I'm not like super down all the time. But this got me. Like this shit pulled me in for sure.
Hell yeah, yeah. Yeah. Like I was saying to you, and like you brought up, like this is literally like the movie of like if you don't understand what it means to like be a diehard sports fan, like this is the movie to watch, and you'll understand it. And like, yeah, it is like buffed up a little bit more because it's a movie, but I think like all of the things are rooted in really like true, like a lot of like truths, like a lot of truths, rooted in a lot of truths, you know, like I think we have the benefit of living in California, and like there's just a lot going on in California other than like sports. Like you got the beach, you got a lot of shit going on here in California. You got really nice weather. It's just like
Hollywood is here.
We're also in an area where it's just like, you know, it like if we lived in San Francisco, we'd probably be fucking Niner fans, but it's just like we live in an area where it's like people are Niner fans, people are every different type of like sports fan. Yeah, exactly. And not that you don't get that in other states, but like when you're somewhere like Philadelphia, when like the Eagles are your only football team, when you're somewhere in Detroit, when the Lions are your only football team, when you're in somewhere like fucking Pittsburgh where the Steelers are your only football team, like you have a sense of like pride of like, this is my state that I live in. This is my team that I root for, that represents the state that I live in. Like I want them to do good, you know? Yeah. And like there are a lot of people that like find happiness in like their team doing good. Like a lot of shit could be going on, but like if the Steelers are winning, fuck man, I'm having a good fucking day because that shit gets me through it. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And like I think they portray a lot of that shit very well. Like even with like his dad, right? When his dad's talking about like, yo, I told you, you know, all the times I told you about so and so, like blah blah blah, like those things got me through 30 years at the fucking plant. And like, you know, like that might be a little bit, you know, fucking hyperbolized for the fucking or is that the right word? A fucking
I know what you mean.
But fucking what's the word I'm looking for? God damn it.
Like a metaphor?
No.
I think it is hyperbole, right? Like a very exaggerated way of saying it, kind of?
Yeah.
I think that's what hyperbole means.
I don't think it's... I feel like it's not that word. It might be, but it's not. Anyway, when it's like... It might be exaggerated, like, 30 years, but it's like, for some people, it's like, fuck. Like let's take, like, for instance, like, the Detroit Lions, right? They won their first playoff game last week in 30 fucking years. It's been 30 years since they've been to the playoffs and won a fucking playoff game. And like there were people in the stands that were fucking crying because all they've ever known is like their team that they love because that's where they live fucking sucked. Sure. Yeah. And now that they don't suck, like people are going fucking absolutely nuts. And they just won again today. And like that means so much for so many fucking people. Yeah. And like I think this is what this movie like taps into, like hardcore. Like I hadn't watched this in a long time, and from my memory, it was always like, oh yeah, this is about this guy who fucking made the fucking Eagles, and he fucking did crazy. And like as much as it like the second half or like the later part of that movie is about this, it's more so about the people that live there and love the fucking Eagles, you know. And I think that's just so beautiful. Like, you know, I always grew up playing sports, and for a while, like I haven't like watched sports as much as I have been these past couple years, but it's just like, it's also nice getting back into it and like understanding that and seeing it from like a different perspective now that I'm like older and like, oh, these people love this team because they feel like they're a part of the team because they fucking live there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like they feel such a fucking great, like, just they have such this love for this team that they're willing to fucking
Well, and beyond that, in this one in particular, like one of their own,
makes
literally
it
the
on the
person
fucking
that they
team.
hang
Yeah,
out with all the time,
exactly.
makes it on the team. Yeah,
exactly. And everyone like that energizes the fucking the whole fucking
like fandom, basically.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like it's freaking it's nuts, man. It's
I was
fucking nuts.
laughing because like I was thinking to myself because I was like, damn, that is sweet, and I for mental health that is like wonderful. But this movie has like a convenient crossroads of like they're dealing with like a lot of real problems, and it's like thematically they're like football gets you through the hard times.
Yeah, yeah.
But then practically in this movie, it's also like, yeah, well, the guy who also is like related to everybody having problems just got suddenly very rich.
Yeah, exactly.
So like he got a lot of money to solve all of those problems. If you're just like a regular fan and like, you know, shit happens and stuff, like I'm sure it's still very inspiring, but it's like, damn, I still got to go to work tomorrow.
Granted, he probably wasn't making hella money. Like he was just a special teams guy, so he's not going to be making like a fuck ton of money.
No, but I'm sure it's probably more than he was making.
100%.
It's probably more
Way
than any
more.
of them were making too.
Way
at that
more.
time. Yeah, for sure.
Way more.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be like he wasn't making like millions of fucking dollars doing that.
No,
shit.
but at that time nobody was, because like money was just more valuable too. You know, like in the 70s, like
yeah.
a couple $100 or like $1,000 was worth way more more than it is now.
Mhm.
Like that would actually get you through like mortgage and shit.
Yeah.
Back then.
When he was just like, man, Dad, I need help on rent this month. And Dad's like, how much do you need? He's like, $100. I was like,
what the
I was like, I'll give that to you right
Dude,
now.
yeah, holy shit, I got that in my pocket, bro.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, money was different back
Yeah.
then. Yeah, money actually meant something.
Yeah, exactly.
They weren't just pieces of paper.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really good. I like it a lot. I think overall it's like a super heartwarming movie. Pretty inspiring too.
You know what was crazy? When his ex-wife leaves him that note, she's like, you're never going to make money.
Yeah.
You're never going to be anything ever in fucking life. I'm like, how just evil of a person do you have to be to write that about anybody?
Okay, so here's what I was gonna. She does go a little bit too hard. I will say that, right? But the other thing that I will say as well is they don't really do like a whole lot of like diving into like the backstory of their marriage. She's kind of just painted as a villain.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, if I was in a partnership with somebody, like if I'm in a relationship with somebody and like we're broke as fuck and like consistently all the time you're taking time off to like go and just do shit when you like work a night job at the like, I was like, for a second there I was like, okay, I get it because he's the main character, but in the right context this is an argument, not just she's fucking evil.
No, yeah, 100%.
You know what I
100%.
mean? Like that. So like I was not totally sold on that part because I was like, okay, she's, you know, they're making her out to be like the horrible, like terrible wife.
No,
who's,
I'm
like,
not mad.
supporting it
I'm
and
not
shit.
mad at that because I was having the same thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you know, you don't need to be playing football right now.
No, bro,
Like
like,
you
yeah.
could be doing something else.
100%.
But the fact that she writes this note of like,
Yeah.
you're never gonna make money.
Yeah.
You're never gonna do shit in your life. You're never gonna be anyone. You're gonna
Yeah.
be nothing. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, like you left. You took everything and you left already.
Still
you
gotta
like
drive it in a little
you
further.
yeah. You just drove it in there like way too hard.
People be crazy, bro.
Dude, and I was just like, you know, she didn't need to do that. She
Like
didn't need to do that.
I honestly though, like I said, like I am wondering because it's like, I am curious. It's like, what was the homie like in those 5 years that they were married? You know, they don't probably talk about that much. Maybe he
Yeah.
was a fucking bum who was like just
Maybe.
living off of some shit, playing football with his homies all the time. You never know. I don't know.
I mean,
Not
it wasn't
gonna
like he wasn't trying to also be a substitute teacher, you know.
Yeah, he got
He
laid
worked at a
off.
bar and he was a substitute teacher.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
what do you want him to do?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, it's a different time. You don't know what
Yeah.
it's like to go look for jobs back then and stuff.
Yeah.
But again, like, you don't know what it's like those full 5 years and stuff like that, you know? And, like, what shit's going down. And, like, she's definitely meant to be the villain of it. So they just write it off as that, and it's good to go.
I wonder whatever happened to her.
I mean, I imagine to a certain extent she probably felt, like, a little bit regretful.
Do you think she tried to come back to him after he like got hella big? Like
If-
within the city of Philadelphia?
If they wrote her anywhere near like how she actually was in real life, I would say no, based purely off of pride. She seems so cold and like fucked up that she wouldn't even try. She was like, nope. All right, yeah.
Damn, he became something.
Like, yeah, that was a fuck up. I'm not gonna touch that.
And he did make some money.
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna. Like again, like who even knows if she wrote that note, bro?
Yeah.
You know, like it might just be for the movie.
True. Very true.
Could have been hella sauced up.
Very true.
Shit. It's very easy. Like it's funny because like I've been cracking up because like more and more stuff has been cropping up and stuff. Like one of the ones that popped up for me is it's like things were so male led back then. It was so easy to just like either write off or like antagonize like the female characters and stuff.
Very true.
Like one of the ones that cracks me up is like in Star Wars where it's like fucking Leia's like putting the blanket around Luke and like comforting him after Ben dies, and it's like, well, her whole entire planet blew up like a couple hours before.
Yeah.
Nobody said shit.
Exactly.
But like this old man that he knew for like a few hours, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden she's like, I must comfort you and stuff.
Yeah.
So
no one was like, hey, sorry, everyone that you ever knew just died
yeah.
right now.
Nowadays, if Invincible got made, guarantee you that's a double-sided story. Like they're gonna go more in depth, maybe even make the movie more interesting by making him more of a two-dimensional character, because he is kind of plain.
Yeah.
He's just like the hero who kind of doubts himself.
He's like, I'm just a good guy.
He's like, I'm a good guy who's really good at football, but I don't know though.
I'm not good at football.
It's like, what do you want from me, huh? I'm just really good at football, but like, I don't know. I don't believe in myself. So like, what am I supposed to do, huh? I don't know what you want me to do. I'm trying over here, huh?
Hey, you spelled my name wrong over here.
You spelled my name wrong. I'm fucking Marky Mark.
Fucking Mark Wahlberg. God damn it.
Yeah, but like I guarantee you, if that movie gets made today, like no way is that character that one-dimensional. You know, like they're gonna make a story out of that shit for sure.
Yeah, he is just like kind of just like.
It's like I don't know. I don't believe in myself. But this really beautiful girl that I just met, who happens to be a blonde girl, she believes in me, even if she is a New York Giants fan. Like that part cracked me up. I'm not gonna lie. That was like a fun little like back and forth throughout the whole movie of like, you know, them slowly falling in love, but like being like rival teams and shit. And like that was cute. That was fun shit. Especially when they go to the game at the end.
I like the little back and forth they had of like spitting their knowledge about their fucking about their teams. And I like she's like, just tell me something about your Eagles, and he's like, Tommy McDonald. Then Max is like, oh, Tommy McDonald, that's his guy right there.
Yeah. No, my favorite was like, I forget what name she spouts out, but he's like, okay, Mrs. Giants fan, if you're such a fan of the New York Giants, name me one player. And she like spouts out a name, and he's like, psh, this guy, everybody knows that guy. Like, what the fuck?
And then she rattles off like all the championships that they won. They're like, oh, okay, fuck.
That shit's funny.
God damn it. God damn it. But yeah, Elizabeth Banks is really good in this movie.
Yeah, it's always funny to see like actors who are that like large now, because like she's a full-on like director and stuff. You know, she did fucking Cocaine Bear, the Pitch Perfect movies, like all that stuff, like super accomplished, and has been for a long time. But it's funny to see them as like supporting characters or side characters back and stuff when like they're the main headline of shit now. You know, it's crazy.
Oh yeah. I like the football that they show in this. It was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it's fun.
I was having a good time.
It's made to be exciting, I think.
As a football fan too, it's funny seeing like, oh, Roger Staubach, this fucking guy. That shit was always funny to me.
They do a good job too, like during the training scenes, like making things feel repetitive. You know, they're like showing the same shots of them doing like the shit over and over again. It's like, wow, they're really working hard out here. Yeah, they do a good job of it.
The part that was funny is when he like goes back into his room and he sees like he's now staying with that one dude.
I like that guy.
And
I don't know what his name was. I think it was like Berg or German,
something like that.
So, yeah. And
he was just like, Vince is like, yeah, your weak side block is kind of shit. And he like gets all, he's like, who told you that? And he's like, one of the coaches. And he like pulls him down and he's like, what color are my knuckles? And he's like, white. He's like, are my knuckles white or they're not? And he just like gives him the whole spiel. And I was just like, dang, you could have like been cooler about that.
No, for sure not. That, if anything, that made perfect sense to me in a football environment. He's not going to sit him down and be like, listen, buddy, let me tell you how this works. He's going to grab him by the fucking neck and be like, this is how you do this fucking thing. You got it now, bro. All
well,
right.
It was also very like different from how he was like acting. Like before that, like, yeah, he didn't like him, but he was just kind of like, yeah, coach is making Rook stay with vets and vets stay with Rooks. I don't fucking know. Yeah. And he's just like very just like, yeah, I kind of don't give a shit. And then all of a sudden he's just like, who told you that?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the one thing that, like, if I have to be like super critical about it, I guess like was maybe a little bit like not. It didn't like let me down or anything, but like I would have liked if they got into it a little more. Put an extra 15 minutes on the movie. Is like all of a sudden the team is down for him when they start like winning or like doing better shit. But like up until that point, everybody fucking hates him except for like that one dude, basically. Like. They do a really good job, I think, of the character relationships between him and all of the people in his hometown.
Mm-hmm.
But like trying to establish relationship, even with like the coach, I think it's like pretty like quick. Like they don't even talk to each other until like he finds out he's on the team, and then at that point they like we haven't really had a chance to talk much, have we? He's like, no, we haven't, and shit. And then so like that part was like not like, again, I don't want to say lackluster because like that's not really what the movie's about. But I would have liked if they spent a little more time like actually developing like the team starting to like warm up to him a little more. Rather than like all of a sudden he makes a touchdown. They're like, all right, he's good in our book,
I think sometimes too though, like with sports, because it is such a results oriented profession, it's like you kind of like, especially as a veteran, like you kind of need to see like something, right?
Sure.
Like you kind of like, especially at like, oh, this is fucking practice. Like we're at practice. We're not going full speed. We're not doing anything crazy. And it's just like, okay, you're this just fucking random dude from the street that came into like, that just happened to get a random fucking tryout. And like, for some reason, the coach is like letting you fucking try out for the fucking team. Like, yeah, you're probably going to be kind of fucking pissed. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like when they see like, they still don't even like him after the first game, like when he fucks up. Yeah. But it's just like the next game when they see him like now like going down the field and like fucking laying someone out, they're like, okay, like this is what we wanted to see. Like it can be kind of quick, but it's just like sometimes it is just like oh shit, okay, this dude's down.
Yeah,
like, we're fucking down now.
I mean, it makes sense. I just think it's kind of funny because like he's doing all that in practice. It's just that he's laying them out. So they're like, fuck you, bro. You're an old man. But then as soon as he starts laying out the other team, which like, I get it. That could totally 100% be exactly how it goes. But at the same time, too, they've like dramatized and like done more because it is a movie. Yeah. So like, I would have liked them to go the extra mile with that part, too. That's in real life, I could totally see that being exactly how it goes. But like, this is like it's a drama version of it. Like, give me the drama. Give me the character relationships of it and stuff. That's what I want from the movie version.
Very true.
But it's still funny. And, like, the other thing, too, is maybe, like, I was, like, also, like, I'm giving them shit because it's, like, I totally get where the coach is coming from and all that because, like, they fucking suck, bro. Like, they lose all of the games until he starts playing with them. And then, like, then they start to, like, win. That's or I don't know how it goes for the rest of the season, but, like, they won that first game at least, or the first home game, right?
I think they ended up going to the Super Bowl like a few years later.
Okay, yeah. Because, yeah, like the whole preseason, they lose every fucking game. And then they lose the very first game, which, like, granted, he does play in, right? But it's like, maybe that's why I'm giving them less credit of like, sure, they might be veterans, but they're kind of like shitty veterans who aren't trying very hard yet, who like don't have the fire under their ass to like get shit going. So
true. Very true.
So I'm not going to give them the credit of like, we need to see you do good first, bro. Like you're doing bad. So like, fuck you.
Yeah. I think it's also from like just like, they've just, again, like they've probably just been in the league and it's just like, who's this random dude? Who's this random 30-year-old fucking guy? Yeah, that just is randomly trying out for the fucking team. We need to see who never played college football ever. Yeah. He played 1 year of high school football, and this fool's just playing on an NFL team.
I think that also is like another like kind of product of like the time as well, because like I feel like a lot of the times now when you listen to interviews with like rookies or new players and stuff like that, like the narrative is never like they fucking hazed me until I was like good enough. It's like, oh no, they're so welcoming and like they're always really nice. So like I think that has also evolved in like sports teams over the years.
Oh, 100%.
Is like, inviting new people in and stuff versus like back then I could very much see it being like that haze mentality of like, nah, until you prove yourself, you're a fucking noob, bro. Like get the fuck out of here or whatever kind of shit,
Very true.
But yeah, it's a great movie. I like it a lot. It's super fun. It's a great watch. It's like, again, I think it's time well spent. I was surprised that it was only an hour 45. Like, I looked at it afterwards and I was like, oh shit, I thought I watched like 2-hour movie, like 210 or something like that. Like with how much they get in there. The characters are all really good. The character relationships are done super well. I think everybody like brings it, like it's not like the most deep acting you've ever seen in your life or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like for what they're trying to do, everybody brings it, and I think they do a good job.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think I agree with all of what you said. Like I love this movie when I was a kid. I still love it now. Marky Mark does a good job. Elizabeth Banks does a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're saying, the supporting cast is really, really fucking good.
Yeah,
the story is really good.
The
like
team of the boys is the best, bro.
Yeah.
Like all the homies that he has, it's like probably what makes the movie for me, honestly.
Yeah, I like when he makes a team and he like calls his homie to come out and he's just like,
it's like looking under the hood and she's like, I don't know, man, your car looks fine.
Yeah. That was good. And it was another good moment when he's just like, hey man, like I'm sorry about everything that's like, been going on. It's been so hard. And he's just like,
it's like, I'm all right now.
He's like, yeah, but I'm fucking good now because you made the fucking team, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And it was just great, dude.
Yeah.
The bar scene when everyone's there like celebrating him is really fucking good. Like
sends the picture over to fucking what's his name, Johnny or something like that, right?
Yeah, to Johnny.
Yeah. And
it was just great, man. It's probably like I would say it's like an 8 out of 10. It's not like a perfect movie. It's not like anything like super crazy, but it's like it's a great feel good story. It's an easy watch. Like it's fun. It's fun, man.
I agree. I would also give it like an 8 out of 10. Like I think if you like inspiring movies, which like not everybody does. I totally understand, then but if you do, I think this is, again, like you said, a super easy watch. Like I'm not going to sit here and tell you like, oh, you have to watch Invincible or anything like that. I'm going to tell you have to watch The Iron Claw first. But
you have to watch Invincible.
You have to. If I'm going to tell you have to watch Invincible, I ain't talking about Marky Mark.
Very true.
Talking about the Amazon show.
Talking about the other Marky Mark.
Talking about the other Marky Mark. Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. Holy shit. Yeah. But yeah, it is really good though. I agree with the 8 out of 10. I liked it a lot. And again, I'm not like a huge sports fan or anything, and it still roped me into all of it. So that's pretty successful if you ask me.
Fuck yeah.
Good shit.
Hell yeah. But all right, guys, that was episode number 88.
Double infinity, bro.
Double infinity.
Yeah.
If you know what's good for you, go and follow us on all the things. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, YouTube at 2HIGH4TV, TOOHIGH 4TV.
Number 4.
And you know what it is? Number 4.
The symbol.
We're in the year 2024, so it's all
Crazy.
4s all year. All year round, guys.
This is our year.
This is our year.
Not only are there 4s in the year, there are also 2s, which is also in the title.
2 4s.
2 4s.
2 2s and 1 4.
2 2s and 1 4.
Mm-hmm.
We got tons of those in our title.
Yeah, because it's literally 2 high.
4T.
Yeah,
so
2.
we have
2. So we got stuff. We got
works,
stuff.
damn it. Shut
It
the fuck
works.
up.
Yeah. Shut your fucking face. But yeah, guys, I have been one of your hosts, Ryan.
I've been your other host, Daniel.
And we are motherfucking
Howdy.
yeah.